Welcome to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha's here. Butler's here. We're back from Indigenous, Indigenous Columbus Day.
Or
whatever. There's two versions, right? There's Columbus Day and then Indigenous Peoples Day.
Sure, yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Indigenous Peoples Day is not celebrated and or recognized in every state, but yes.
They put that on Columbus Day?
Yes, they did.
Do they know?
That's weird.
I don't think they know.
You could have moved it. You could have moved it.
How
just one
awkward
day.
that is?
Just
My
one
God.
day.
Because, with the Columbus and the... Anyway.
Vote. That's what everybody's been yelling at. Vote.
Relax.
You gotta vote, man. Rock the vote. Hey, it's Dan Dennis. You might know me from Tom and Dan, and I'm here to tell you about something you may not know about. It's called voting. You got to do it.
Everybody knows nowadays.
Vote. It does the body good.
Wait, there's an election going on?
Does anybody be like, you can vote?
I know. That's why I'm laughing at it.
Yeah,
so stupid.
Anyway.
You know what? When people tell me 100 times to do it, no, I just don't want to do it now.
Yeah.
I'm like, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Why are you trying so hard?
I often want to do the opposite of
I
what
do.
everybody's telling me.
You know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? 4 more years, buddy.
Anyway, we got EJ on the line.
Oh, do we? Oh, God.
It's
hey,
it's the thing.
Dan Dennis here. Vote for EJ's bit to be canceled.
Oh, come on.
Can we vote on that?
I don't know. You're the boss.
It's your show, buddy.
I'm not the boss. I thought someone else was the boss. I do not want to be the boss.
Me neither. Should we do this thing?
Yeah.
All right. Pot him up. And EJ, we're going to do your thing now. Here we go.
Okay. Jab! Nerds! Jab! Nerds! Jab! Nerds!
Jock.
Hold on, I thought we made Samantha the boss. That was a
Wait,
whole.
I'm the boss
You're
now?
right. We
Yeah,
did.
you are the boss.
Yeah, when did we do that?
That was a while ago.
I'm changing my salary.
It makes
Well,
the most sense. Well, you're
You
not.
could do it, but
can't do it.
eventually-
I might do some firing, too.
Eventually, when
Yeah.
you go to cash the check, it won't go.
It's because it all comes down to signatures.
We got to trim the fat around here.
Didn't you watch John
we
Oliver?
could trim some fat.
Yeah.
That's true.
I put it right in my mouth and I eat it.
Just start trimming, whatever
Yeah.
you want.
All right.
Never go swimming with bow-legged trimmings, as my grandfather always said. Hey, it's Dan Dennis here. You might know me from the very popular morning show, The Monsters in the Morning. Not on that show anymore, but I'm here to tell you to vote. Rock the vote out with your loadout. Well, you can't say that. Yeah, you can.
Okay.
What's going on, EJ?
Nothing much. What's going on?
Not
Oh,
much.
wow. Way to bring
defeated.
the heat.
Yeah,
Way
yeah.
to bring the heat.
Why
Hey,
so
Well,
sad?
it's been a weird week. I
It's
got a
only
new
Tuesday.
assistant, and I had to do pool pumps today on
Excuse
this
me?
weekend,
You had
and
to-
busted my hand open.
You had to pray to pull pot today. What are you talking about?
No,
Pool pumps?
no, I had to install a whole new pool pump because my pool pump went out.
Why don't you get a fence first
Yeah.
and then do your
Well,
pool pump?
The pool pump is more important than the fence.
So-
because the pool will just go to crap, and then I don't need a fence.
So did you know how to do that
Perfect
already,
plan.
or did
Yeah,
you?
that was the job I had before this. I used to do pools. I did the rebar of the pools before, and we always had to set up the pump prior to putting the rebar in.
So you went from college football to doing pools to janitor. That's weird.
Yes.
I mean,
It's a journey.
It's on brand.
So
Aren't you supposed to be a bug man now?
I was supposed to be, but
yeah.
things worked out
Yeah,
differently.
sometimes you don't choose the career. That career chooses you. He wanted to be a bug man, and he threw everything he had at it.
This
but
is less respectable than Bugman.
It really is.
Oh.
Yeah, at least a bug man
Yeah.
gets a uniform.
This job doesn't even exist. Like if I tell
No.
people what this is,
It's
no one
fake.
knows.
No one knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "No, I don't know."
It's kind of like Jenna Hurt's job. Like
Yeah.
no one believes that she is able to make
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands of dollars just tying tiny pieces of jewelry, but she does it.
Yeah. Well, she makes that money because that's her personality.
Yeah.
She figured out a way. If
She's selling herself.
if she had like a power suit and a little bit more greed,
Oh, yeah.
she'd be
Ultimate
a politician.
Karen. Oh, she'd be
yeah.
shutting it down.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying she.
She'd be powerful. Leslie Knope.
Yeah. Anyway,
She's like a punk rock Leslie Knope.
EJ, what do you want to talk about first?
Well, let's start off with sports. Let's talk about Dan's team, how they just fired their GM and head coach.
I didn't care about the
At the
head
Falcons.
coach. I wanted the GM gone, and he's gone, so I'm happy.
Yep.
Yeah, I was extremely.
Well, they're also talking about they might be moving on from Matty Ice.
Yeah, I'm happy with that too. These are all things I said. Dan Quinn, I don't think Dan Quinn was the problem, other than being completely overworked. My God, look at him when he came to the Falcons, and look at him now. It's like watching the beard hair of a U.S. president. You know, they just die inside.
So, do you think, and I'll ask Daniel this too, it's important for gambling, there is a, like gamblers try to look at the like trends and things.
Trying to look at the edge, yeah.
And so there's been this debate whether if you fire a coach, how good, like if you should be bet on the next week, like if the team actually plays better after the coach gets fired, because there's a theory that the team knows a coach is going to get fired, so then there's like almost this psychology of the group.
They sandbag it, yeah.
Not that they're doing it on purpose. It's just like, like how much motivation do you really got to try to impress a guy that you know is going to get
Not
fired?
gonna be there, yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
and even though you say like these are all professional millionaires and these are all people that have to play hard for their jobs, so you know it's advantageous for yourself. Like it's just all self-motivated. Like I need to play hard so I keep this job or
Sure.
get promoted.
Yeah.
Anyway, but there's a sense that once that coach gets fired, then all of a sudden the team wants to play as good as they can for whoever's watching,
Yeah.
so that they keep
Yeah,
their
it's
jobs.
a tryout for the next head coach. Yeah.
Anyway, so do you guys buy into that? What do you
Not
think,
on this
Daniel?
one, I don't, because he's a player.
No.
He was a player, and he already had the locker room. I think they really liked him a lot. And I think he understands it from their point of view, so I don't think there's a problem there. And I think they're gonna be sad he's gone, because
Okay.
I still don't think he's the issue. You know,
Yeah.
I don't think he was.
It's not like with the Texans where the head coach was having an issue with the players. Like J.J. Watt and him were fighting, so that would be the issue when he got fired. I would bet on the Texans more than I would the Falcons.
Yeah,
next week.
I think I would agree with EJ.
Well,
only
Texans they fired the coach
Yeah,
and then they
that's-
won.
they won,
Well,
so
yeah,
it didn't matter.
Yeah.
So then that would have been the game that you would have. But there was a whole argument in the gambling world whether like Bill O'Brien's backup is like a joke apparently within these guys. I don't know that much about it, but
Yeah.
everybody says this
the
guy's
coaching world is extremely weird.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I didn't get into it. It's too political and it's also too like wishy-washy. I need like permanence in my life.
I don't think
that's why I keep doing this bit.
You know, we have a lot of 30
I'm
for
glad you do.
30s on like your LeBron James and stuff like but like you know what's funny is the main part of even Last Dance that I really got into was when they started talking about Phil Jackson. There's something about like when they start digging into coaches, it can get kind of weird. You know, I think coaches are ultimate nerd weirdos, and
Yeah.
I like that aspect of the story. Like, I can't wait until there's some sort of Belichick documentary. I mean,
Yeah.
I want to see what that guy's about because he's a total weirdo.
Yeah, so
Oh, I love that he's a grumpy old man and he hates to do interviews. That's my favorite thing about Bill Belichick.
Oh, he's mad.
it's interesting because everybody, and the thing is, I don't know enough about the actual X's and O's of football to understand it. You know, like I
Yeah.
honestly just don't. I mean, I only scratch the surface of understanding.
And you know a lot
game
more
and
than
so
most people.
Yeah, but so what I'm always fascinated by is everybody always talks about Bill Belichick and he's a genius, and like I've never heard anybody say that he's not the best NFL coach. At least
in recent times.
yeah, at least, yeah. So anyway, but what, like, obviously other coaches are smart and other coaches know the game. I mean, maybe not just as well, but pretty close. You know, there's other real
same-
brilliant coaches.
yeah,
Andy Reid is a great
same
coach.
wheelhouse
So,
for sure.
so they have, you know, general experience, the same experience. Anyway, and they see the plays that Bill Belichick, you know, comes up with. They all see it every single week, you know, like, but what is it? Like, is it just like they set up a culture of like discipline and winning, and then that compounded on itself, and like everybody who goes there is just like, you know, like never.
Is it
like
similar
what
to
is it?
being? Is it similar to being a chef in the fact that same ingredients, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Same recipe, or the idea behind what your entree is the same, but for some reason this guy, I'm not going to say Gordon Ramsay because
Technique,
Juan
maybe?
is in the chat room and he hates that man, but
Yeah.
I'm going to say, like, if you take a world-class chef, right? I mean, like, there's
Yeah.
a reason why these guys, they go, look, it's the same thing, but this guy just always, what is that?
And
thing.
you're right. And then it's like, and I know that a lot of his end game and
What's the
adjustment, and then Belichick being able to see
Mm-hmm.
what the other coach is doing, so he goes against that as like chess match, all that. But it's like, it's like almost in people's minds a supernatural thing, which is absurd, is stupid.
It's
so I'm
not.
like, what is the?
And it is exactly like a chef.
yeah. There's something that.
But what is the thing?
Yeah. Why-
It's just it's in game. It changes. You listen to your players. Like when I was at Miami, they used to come on the sidelines, and the coaches would ask the players, "Are they setting up? Are they changing their technique? Or is it a
But,
three
but the
technique?
other
or is
guys
it
are
a
doing
two?"
that.
Yeah.
Tom's point is
Yeah.
it's got to be
Yeah.
a
It's not-
wonderful balance of all of that.
It's not like Belichick's against a bunch of special needs coaches.
No,
and
no.
you know what I'm saying?
Same-
Like,
it's all the
No,
same
no.
stuff.
yeah. I mean, the difference is it's
Well,
so,
there's also accusations of cheating the whole time with Bill Belichick too, and stealing film and stuff like that.
Yeah, that
so you
happens
might
when you're
have
that
a little
good,
bit
though,
of
too.
forethought. So we might, like a gambler, have some of the edge. So that might help too.
anyway.
But
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
eventually we will get to the bottom of it, and I would love nothing more than
You're
this
right.
wonderful story, much like anything else. I'd love for them to get to the end of it, and it's just that this guy can balance it all because maybe his brain is just a perfect football brain.
And because it's not like he's working harder than the rest of like all these
He
coaches.
doesn't look like he's working hard at all. That's the sad part about Bill Belichick is you look at him and what makes you so angry is I don't think I've ever seen the guy make more than 2 different facial expressions.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
but, I mean,
it's
like
frown and neutral face.
Yeah,
That's it.
neutral face and frown. That's it.
putting in the time. Maybe it's the fact that like you just get this reputation, so all the best coaches from anywhere gravitate towards you because they know that if they work for you, they'll probably get a. I mean, look how many head coaches worked with Belichick. So it's like a EJ, you know this, like the best college football team gets the best recruits, right? Because everybody.
Yeah, usually, you get best recruits. But the thing is, just because you get the best recruits doesn't mean you're going to be the best team. Because sometimes it comes down to teamwork and how you guys work together than
Of
the
course.
best players in the world.
Yeah,
So,
but I'm just saying it's like the best players in the world gravitate towards you, so that's got to help you.
yeah.
So it's like the
well,
best.
it's like you're saying, like Phil Jackson. People wanted to play for Phil Jackson because he had that philosophy and he was a player's coach.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, you're good, but you're also good because you've been good and that recruit's good. So then
Yeah.
all of a sudden now you're
Your
like
reputation matters, doesn't it?
everybody around. So if you just drop Belichick in the Jets right now,
Oh, yeah.
maybe they'd win more. But
I think you would make some improvements. Yeah.
Yeah.
someone, but it's
But the
not.
thing is, you'd have to change the culture. It would take a little
Yeah.
while, but I think it would change the team.
It would probably take 5 years, because now you start from nothing. Like, so
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, you put Belichick.
Yeah, he's building on what he has.
It would
now.
depend
It's
on
easy
how
for
many
him.
old
You can't just start.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
how
It's
many
not
old
magic.
habits are there. You'd have to eliminate all of those. But anyway.
he's not magic.
Okay,
Anyway, yeah.
let's
else
talk
you
about something bad then. You guys saw Dak Prescott's injury, which I need to have people do a trigger warning before they put it on Facebook
Yeah, it's
because
bad.
it was ruining my weekend seeing that over and over
Well,
over again in my
it
Facebook
just,
feed.
It just makes me sad because the guy was straight up on fire. Like
Yeah, he was fantastic.
Yeah,
and just injury. That's definitely season ending. That's Alex Smith type injury.
I hate
And
it.
then they kept on showing Alex Smith's injury on SportsCenter. I was
Yeah.
at lunch yesterday and I'm eating and they showed. I'm like, come on.
Yeah,
Two-
it was injury day.
Two things though with the Dak Prescott thing. Like, if you didn't know that that was a compound fracture, it just looked like his foot slipped out of his shoe at first. Like,
Right.
No, it looked like it was going the wrong way for sure.
Yeah, no, but the way at first it could have been foot slipped out of shoe. Like, obviously when you focus in on it and you see how much pain he's in, you're like, oh, this is a broken
this is
ankle.
bad.
But so yeah, it is sad. Also that he didn't get his guaranteed money that they were been talking about. So it's like,
Yeah,
it's
because
happened-
he's under the franchise tag, so
Yeah.
he's getting killed there.
Now he'll be back, and I read about all this same injury with a lot of other players. That it's an injury that people have come back from, athletes have come back from.
Yeah.
There's other injuries that are worse for athletes, obviously in the long term. So in all accounts, if he rehabs the right way, he'll be back.
Who's
but
the backup there in Dallas?
Dalton.
Andy Dalton.
Old Andy Dalton.
Oh, big
Right on the
redhead. So
he looked good though. He had a pretty good game after he came in.
yeah,
It's amazing to me how quickly these type of things travel via the internet, because I had sat down with Maisie to play some Madden, and it was my team, Atlanta versus Dallas. And because Dak, they already had the injury ready to go when we went to fire it up and play.
Oh, yeah, so
they had already removed him out of the.
yeah,
I was like, holy crap, that's fast.
yeah. And what was
Just flipping a little switch.
Yep.
what was the other thing?
But talking about Dak Prescott is all I had for that. Was all I was talking about.
It was Dak Prescott and someone else you mentioned.
Oh, and Alex Smith. Came back in the game. He made his first start. It was like Dak Prescott went down with a horrible injury, and then Alex Smith is in the game as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was crazy.
Did you watch that game? I bet on
I only
Washington.
heard about it. I didn't watch it.
You bet on Washington?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a bad idea.
Well, they were doing okay with Kyle Allen until he got hurt, but I should have just.
What did you say when he goes out? What are you doing?
Hold on, I knew
Did you
I
punch
lost.
the fridge again?
No, I don't do.
Yes, you did.
No, I don't bet that.
Don't
When I
tell
punched the
me
fridge,
Don't tell me you're being mean to kids.
That was a Super Bowl, I believe.
no, I had bet too much. That was back when I had no
You
discipline.
also drank a lot more. You're
So-
fat.
How is it different from now?
Yeah. Well, now I'm
You bet
gambling.
small.
Yeah, I'm gambling the right way. But when Alex Smith went in there, I was like, oh my god! Okay,
It's like they had a cartoon skeleton out there from the Grateful Dead Touch of Grey video where they're using the wires to play the.
I listen. Good for every.
No, I don't
everybody's
want to
saying
crap on a good story, man. It's a good story.
Good for him, but we can all agree that. And people are talking about like, oh, Alex Smith going forward, like this is what they want. I'm like, dude,
I don't know.
I mean, I was genuinely afraid that he was
Break him
going
in
to
half.
die.
I did think that.
I thought Aaron
I didn't
Donald was
watch
going to kill him.
Yeah.
Like I was like, we're gonna see this guy get murdered, and it looks like he's lost on a desert island. We're still wearing his football uniform.
He seems to be having a little bit of trouble picking up the football.
Like he's obviously lost some mass and stuff. Like he can still throw the ball, but like I just felt horrible for him, and I was like, man, you're putting him in a bad position, and he's gonna get killed out there. But good for him.
It had a Rudy vibe to it.
Yeah, he only got sacked 10 times and embarrassed himself and his legacy
Yeah.
of football.
Stop.
I'm just saying, it's fine that he recovered, and it's a great story. But I mean, at this level of football, when you literally almost died, what is it, a year and a half ago, and now you're playing again? I don't believe that can be sustainable.
No, this is it, right? Yeah, and then you're done. Take some time for yourself.
Although
they're definitely going to sign somebody.
they put Haskins third string. It's weird. Everybody was talking about like
Dennis Haskins from NYPD Blue.
Dwayne Haskins, but they
Oh no, that was Dennis Franz.
like
Yeah.
And you saw his butt one time back in the day.
Big deal.
It was weird
That was a big deal, man.
Dennis Haskins, who is that? Oh, might be the dad or the principal from old Bayside High.
What else we got, EJ?
Well, we got to talk about the Lakers winning the finals against the Heat, who they embarrassed the Heat in that last game.
Yeah, that was
like they were up by like 36 at one point.
I knew you'd talk about it. I watched a little bit of that.
Game was over.
It was way over.
Yeah, fast.
I felt bad for our good friend Andres because I know how big of a white hot Heat fan he is, and they're a Florida team, so I'm supposed to root for him. But
I was cheering for him because they were a Florida team.
Yep.
Mostly.
If he knows about the NBA, which he does, he knew the Heat had no chance. Pretty
much. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were a Cinderella story. Most of us wanted like the Nuggets versus the Heat, so it'd be someone other than the Lakers or the Celtics or the Spurs or something like that winning a championship. But of course, the Lakers win it all in 5-6 games.
And
so
I heard they were all happy as hell to get the hell out of the NBA bubble.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye. They were screaming it as
Oh
they
yeah!
won it.
Oh, did you see they left that one guy there?
No.
They left one of their players at the stadium The team bus left him there. He's like, man, I just won a championship and I got to walk home.
Who was it?
I can't remember his
Jeremy
name. It's a
Lin.
nobody. It's a guy that didn't even play.
Yeah. Some old guy.
And he's like, I won a ring and I'm going to have to walk home. I'm like, oh, you didn't win a ring. You're like me on the Hurricanes.
Also, you're still rich. Just Uber Black to the airport or whatever. Just call a car. It's fine. Why don't they all do it? Take the old stinky team bus? No one,
We don't even do that. We're not rich. You guys are millionaires. We are literally paycheck to paycheck, and Tom and I Uber Black everywhere. I Uber Black from my house is one street.
Yeah. They don't want to take the stinky bus.
Samantha's car's all screwed up. We're just getting her lifts like crazy. We live like we are in the NBA bubble. I'm ordering sandwiches, then I immediately complain about them.
The other story I have is, did you guys watch the UFC this last weekend?
There's too much sports right now. I can't watch all of it.
Hold on.
I did.
There's too much.
So who is fighting? I've lost track.
Yeah, I don't know. Tito Ortiz versus Tank Abbott. I don't know. Who is it? Who is it? It's Joe Rogan versus his own glare.
He's getting interrupted.
Oh, yeah. You getting fired right now?
Excuse me.
Pretty much. Probably.
Did you steal all the paper clips, Ennis? Ennis the Penis. Paperclip stealer.
It's good. If I need another one, I'll come back. Yeah, I'm trying not to put too many in here.
Awkward.
Is that sounds like you work in an Asian sweatshop.
Yeah. Well, I save all our empty paper boxes. So, like, if Drunk needs to do another jumping grave digger, we have a bunch of boxes for you, Tom.
Why did you catch the heat? I was the one making fun
I
of
know. Yeah. It's hard. He didn't
But
really...
he also knows that I'll turn the switch and I'll be mean.
He'll be mean. I
won't.
I know I can handle Tom.
You
Dan,
didn't really
you're just too quick with the tongue.
embarrass yourself that much during your career. I have a
It
lot of
sounded like the
embarrassment.
lady was like, you didn't take your order. They were
No,
waiting.
they
were waiting
needed
forever
boxes,
for
what they
order. You get on bike, you deliver wonton. I'm like, wait.
Oh man,
where do you work at?
Okay, the story I was
like
talking
an
about is
old
UFC.
movie.
Did you guys see the? Oh man, let's get this guy's name. The Buckley versus Kasangania fight.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see the knockout?
Of course I did.
Buckley versus
Of course Sam did.
Castlevania.
I knew Sam did. That's why I brought the story, because I knew Sam
Oh
loved
man,
it.
you should pull up that video.
Pull up the video.
It's bad.
So
It looks like a video game finish.
It was an intense fight. The whole fight.
Yeah, it's like the second round it happened in. But like, you'll find the clip. It'll be easy. All you got to do is look up Buckley.
did the guy catch like a crazy
He caught the guy's
haymaker?
kick, and then the guy who
So,
got caught with his kick,
Buckley
he did a
went-
spinning.
Buckley went to
Sam.
kick him, right? And then the other guy grabs his foot. As his foot's being held, he spins backwards and does a flying kick backwards and catches him in the fucking head.
Oh.
Oh, I just cursed.
Samantha gets curse
It's
horny.
exciting.
Talking
She
about
does.
fighters.
And her nipples
I do.
get hard,
I do.
and she starts taking her jeans down.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
What are you
She
doing?
tell me about that
None
kick.
of that happened, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to throw interference because I know she's
I
embarrassed.
saw it in her eyes. She was
Yeah.
telling me about two
Don't
men.
look into her
kicking
eyes when
you.
she does that. She
Exciting.
becomes Medusa.
Two
and
bulls going at it.
Her
in
snake
the ring
hair
against
will
each other.
ensnare you. All right, I'm trying
I'm
to
probably
find-
scaring my assistant laughing really loud.
Kick.
She's new.
I know. You've said it 3 times. You have an assistant now. We get it.
Yeah.
God, look at this guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, it's the first time I've done it in front of her, so I'm a little nervous.
Don't say
wow.
that. There we go.
Epstein said that too. That's what Louis C.K. said. Yeah, and he was funny.
He could sell his specials. Kick knockouts.
Oh.
They
It was a clean kick too.
Dude, right in the
All right,
face.
you want
Like
to see
there
it?
it is.
I got it.
you could generate way more power with a kick, and that's CTE written all
Watch
over.
his watch his legs.
Oh, he freezes
after-
up too.
yeah.
He's like,
All right, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
and then goes down.
Even on total strikes at the moment.
Dead.
Yeah. He's
Oh,
totally
dead.
unconscious.
Yeah.
Let's do one
And then
more.
Joe Rogan
Even on total
Man, you need a
strikes
better
at the
angle.
moment.
You need an angle from the other
Oh
side.
my God, that is brutal.
I don't want to be a snowflake.
Here's the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine getting hit blunt force in the face with someone's heel, but then when you fall and you can't catch yourself and your head just
Yeah,
slams,
that's-
the worst,
Yeah,
right?
that's the worst
That's
part.
the
yeah.
double. That's how.
They're supposed to slide a pillow under it like a cartoon
Fast,
cat
yeah.
would.
But man, it's like when I like punching knockouts. Like usually you get caught in the jaw, And so, a lot of times, like if you watch the old Kimbo Slice knockout, Seth barely punches Kimbo. Like he didn't throw some crazy. No, seriously. Like,
I mean, barely for him.
You
I
are
mean,
totally dismissing Seth's knockout.
I like
That's
that.
pretty funny.
I like that.
No, but he
Get him,
didn't need
Tom.
to because he jabs him in the chin, and Seth's a powerful guy, obviously.
He's strong.
And but that's all it took, and your lights are out. Usually, like, you get hit in the chin and stuff. But
Yeah, line up the jaw. Yeah.
But that is a dude that I don't know, what is that guy?
They're middleweight.
Yeah.
Like one. I mean, those guys are pure muscle, and that guy spin kicks and with the weight of his entire leg and catches that guy in the side of the head and turns his lights out. It freezes, and before he's even hitting the ground, then he hits it like that kind of. I'm like, oh man,
He's only 185.
ugh,
but it's pure
muscle.
Yeah, it's all muscle.
Like,
yeah.
Pure muscle.
5'10", 185.
Because if you see Kimbo get knocked out and you're like, oh, he got knocked out, but that kind of knockout just seems way more violent. And like I
yeah.
said, don't want to be a snowflake,
Yeah.
but man, it's hard for me to watch someone get their lights turned
Yeah,
out
it's
that
scary
violently.
because he's out. Yeah.
You're like, man,
All right, should we move?
you're watching brain trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I know
Same
that
with football.
Yeah, well,
Put Alex Smith in there.
if they've shown that
Dead.
it's like the constant, if he got up somehow and then they let him keep fighting
Right.
like back in the
Yeah, but who is more designed to take this hit? Okay, this guy who catches a foot to the face, then he's out and then falls, or fat lady on tire swing at River who just comes off of it and just instantly into the sand. Whack!
Yeah.
She'll just knock the wind out of herself.
You think so?
Yeah, but she'll hit her head. She'll hit everything. Yeah, she's
Yeah,
not
he
He
hits
has
there.
it
like
all.
smushing grapes and stuff like that.
I watched a lot of those
Noise.
this week, and every single one of them looks like the woman's dead.
And here's the thing: as long as the guy, and that now we know more, he doesn't train for a while. He takes concussion protocol seriously, and doesn't take any more head hits for a specified amount of time. They know more, so it's better. Like 15 years ago, this guy would be training in a month and get a concussion again, and that's where it
just
starts real getting bad.
Yeah.
Compound.
Yeah. All right, should we move over to nerd stuff?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Well, I got to bring this one up. Logic the Rapper. Do you guys know who that is?
Yeah, he
Yes.
retired after his last album, I thought.
Yeah. Well, guess what he's doing with his retirement money? He's spending it on Pokemon cards. He bought a limited edition Charizard card for $226,000.
He's a nerd. I
He's a nerd.
I saw the documentary, and
Oh, you watched a documentary on him?
yeah.
I haven't seen that one.
Well, I think it's a docu-series on rappers or hip-hop artists, and he was featured on one of them.
Yeah, he's good.
It was on Netflix or something. Anyway, like obviously a brilliant rapper, but he's just like super smart.
Yeah, I don't
and
think he wants to continue to do it either.
on the
he's
spectrum
a kid now. Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Not that he's on the spectrum, but I mean, maybe as
Oh, I
far
think
as
he
like
is.
it being super intelligent and anyway. So he's wasting his money, huh?
No, because that Charizard card is from the first set that used to come from. So it's really rare. So it's worth a lot of money. So I understand it's like $226,000. And it'll probably go up in value as Pokemon keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Do you play?
Or
Do you play with that card?
Let's talk about that because there was a time where baseball cards were expensive,
Yeah, they're.
and now less. And things.
No, actually, memorabilia is going up right now, especially since the pandemic and when there was a lot of sports not going on. All like memorabilia has been going up.
All of it, baseball
All
cards.
of it,
You
except
don't-
for like
you
Tom
don't-
Dan,
I
Junkie the Bear jerseys from Predators. Those are on homeless people.
I am not confident that you have your thumb on the pulse of the the baseball card market. I'm just saying that Pokemon cards,
Yeah.
and I would estimate that their value will go down in 50 years. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? They will not
50
go up.
years?
You see what I'm saying? This is not a long-term investment
Yeah, it's
where
not like gold.
this Charizard card, because eventually there'll be a new thing. There's always new things. Like that's the thing, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
I just don't. like the
write that
baseball
down.
card thing is a good analogy because I always thought that my football cards, my baseball cards would be
Yeah.
worth something. And they eventually did hit a peak when
Yes.
it was the thing, as
It'll
Tom is saying.
plateau out.
And it hit, like I always talk about my Joe Montana rookie cards, and they at their peak, they were worth, I want to say, like $270. I look them up now, and they're going down. You know, they're like, what's that worth? Oh, $65,
Well,
$35. I'm like, well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
It's not like you said, it's not gold. It's not a valuable metal that has a market. Like it's based on what people are willing to
It's interest.
pay for.
Yeah.
So it's I feel like this is the height of the Pokemon market, right? There's
Right
going to be
now, I think we passed it.
I mean,
Yeah, I think it was maybe 2 years ago.
I think we're in a wave, or we're in a trough right now, and we're going to come back up.
because how many more things are there going to be in 10 years? There's going to be a new trend. There's going to be new popular things. Like I don't know. He's wasted his money.
Well, okay. Dan, you might want to pull this up. Have you seen the life-size knitted Thanos that this lady did? It's a 7-foot-tall Thanos that she knitted completely, and it has like even veins in the arms, and has the Infinity Gauntlet, and she put like eyeshadow on it to give it the shadowing and everything. She used like, what was it? It's 7 feet tall, and she used 4 kilograms of yarn to knit this
Oh
thing.
my god.
It is huge.
It's it's big and pink, and I don't think
like
it's supposed to look like
a
that.
penis man.
Yeah, it does.
It looks like
Oh my god.
It looks like
Not
penis
being
man.
worked.
So is she some sort of social media influencer or
I
something?
think she's an Instagrammer. Yeah, I think she's like, her name's Woolly McWoolface, I think is her Instagram name.
Okay, yeah. So this is just like
It looks like a TikTok
Oh
type of
no, it's got a
deal.
wobbly neck.
you're building the biggest Cheeto.
Well,
you're
Well,
like,
she takes the head off because it doesn't fit in her apartment.
now did she do this by herself or does she have a bunch of people that helped her and then
Well, according to the story, that she couldn't get it to stand up on its own, so she took it to her parents' house, and she used baked bean tin cans to make it stand up at the end. And it
That's
looks like there's
clever.
a piece of wood in a neck as well.
so
That's very clever. I would have never thought to use the baked bean cans.
here okay, this is interesting.
This
So-
is a true artist.
I thought you would like this because it's a lot of effort for a waste of time.
Yes.
And I think you would love this. That's why I brought it up.
Now I do like the concept of a lot of effort
the
wasting your
Thanos
time.
face is horrifying.
It's all not great.
But social media, it's so like here today, gone tomorrow. Like it lasts so little
I
bit of time.
don't even know what it is. Yeah.
So it's like you put so much effort into this giant Thanos, and who knows how many man hours this took to knit.
It was 4 months. It took her 4 months to do.
So 4 months, and then obviously it'll be on every podcast news story and morning
You should
show
buy it,
and-
Tom, and put it next to the French Witch.
and then she'll get her views out of it, but it'll be gone.
yeah.
2 days.
Yeah. It doesn't have any
Lasting.
Is she keeping it?
power at all.
I didn't read anything about that she's like auctioning it off or anything like that. But I think, Tom, you should make an offer and put it right next to your French Witch for Halloween this year.
I'm not John Oliver. I'm not buying goofy things. Just, I don't
You
have
should.
this
You could
budget.
be John Oliver. You could get a waste treatment plant named after you in some small town.
They've got a team and money and things like that. I bet this thing would cost $1,000 or $5,000 someone to buy it.
Well, the shipping, because I think she's in Great Britain, so I think it would cost you a lot of money to ship it to Florida from here.
Yeah.
Is one of the
Out of there.
arms supposed to not be veiny, and one of them is supposed to be veiny?
The veiny is supposed to show that the Infinity Gauntlet is powering up. Remember how he kind of goes up his arm when he does it?
I
Same thing with
haven't
Hulk.
seen any of these baby
Me
movies.
either.
They're so this lady is like some sort of social media knitter or
Yeah.
She's a TikToker.
Yeah.
TikToker.
Oh
And
my God, the picture with her and the Thanos face. She's got stuff in her teeth.
Ooh.
what you know what's
Brush your teeth before they come to your house and take your photo for the Daily Mail.
dude?
I think she took that herself.
Well, it's just she needs to brush her teeth.
There are pockets of these people that are into whatever they're into, like knitting or like I follow a bunch of plant people now.
Yeah. Oh, you should make a plant Thanos.
There's
Oh, no. Planos.
in the
Planos.
Dude,
Big ol' eggplant.
in the plant.
Oh, you should.
Big eggplant
Egg
head.
Planos.
Egg Planos.
First of all, what you guys?
We're idea people. We just gave you the best idea.
I will.
Do you want to blow up on TikTok or not?
Do you want to blow
Yeah,
up on
do you wanna get
TikTok or
famous?
not?
I don't
Or
even know what
Trump
that
takes
is.
me
You
TikTok?
could be Egg Planos. Hey, Butler, get him an account for TikTok. Egg Planos.
At Egg Planos.
Egg Planos 69.
I will never make anything. There's no way.
Yeah, you get your 15 minutes of fame, then
I
you're
don't
like
want
Daddy
that.
Longneck. You're doing pornos.
Ah.
You're at Busey's house with Gucci Berry.
So there's these people,
Wide neck.
and like I even follow this one plant lady, and she's like huge on Instagram or whatever, and she has hundreds of thousands of followers, and from what like her house and what she may have been like had money to begin with or whatever, probably did to get into plants or whatever, but she probably I'm guessing makes 10,000 to
You could be that, Planos.
100,000 a month.
If we
maybe.
paint you purple
Yes.
and you do your plants with the
Yes. Let's do
hat
this.
on and then like the action pants and you walk around
We'll
in
get
your
you some
Planos.
gold gloves.
Yeah, your Planos.
Your kids will be into it
Yeah.
too.
Hi, everybody. It's Planos. Here's your Planos tip of the day. When you're dealing with these fennel leaf figs, put 3 drops of Energy Blast on. I don't know what you do.
Put
See?
banana peels in your garden. It'll help with the
Yeah,
fertilizer.
yeah. See, all these tips from Planos. People would love it.
I don't understand really how they monetize it yet, but as soon as I do, Planos, here
All
it
right.
comes.
There we go. we got a verbal
Yeah,
agreement.
because without
Yeah.
big money, none of this interests me.
Well, you got to build a following.
Yeah, but
Okay, one
but
more
if there's no
story I
money
guess I could
involved,
do.
don't care. I'd rather have 0 following, all the money.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
you got to get the following to get the money.
He'd
That's how it
rather
know.
works.
not have 100 million people following Planos and is not making any money out of it. And he's walking around his backyard with purple paint all over him.
The problem is a lot of these people are motivated by the following first.
Yes.
Then they monetize it after, but they are addicted to the following.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, what's next?
Okay, the next thing is Animaniacs is coming back.
Yeah.
Have you seen the trailer they kind of did with it was a mashup of Jurassic Park and Animaniacs.
No, I didn't know it was coming
Oh, it's
back.
pretty good. They have like Steven Spielberg because he's the force behind it, and it's kind of like a spoof of where when they first show up to Jurassic Park, Alan Grant's in like the Jeep and he looks over and he's like, "Oh my God, they did it!" And it's the Animaniacs instead of like dinosaurs. And like Hulu is the lawyer in there is like, "We're gonna make so much money off this." Pretty good.
I'm disgusted by the amount of
here it
cartoons
comes.
my
No fun.
sons have the ability to watch on
Yeah, it
demand.
didn't used to be like that.
And
now they're
it's ruining
rebooting
everything.
things that I like.
Yeah.
You know, Animaniacs was mine. Don't reboot it. You know, like
Yeah.
these are ours.
Warner Brothers and the Sister Dot with Pinky and the Brain. They're both coming back.
Oh, wow.
Like-
Same voices?
I think so. Oh, I think because the guy does just an impression of Orson Welles for Brain, right?
Basically.
Animaniacs for sure is the original cast.
Oh,
I don't know
Cool.
about Pinky and the Brain though.
that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, because me and my I know Tom's saying that he hates that all the cartoons are coming back, but me and my daughter were watching the original He-Man this weekend on I think it was on Hulu. We were watching it,
No, I like
and
that.
it's so bad, but it's so good at the same time.
Yeah, no, I want my sons to go back and watch the old cartoons that I used to watch. I think all they really want to watch is Ethan Gamer TV and watch some other kid play Roadblocks or whatever, some garbage. And but I force
Like
them to
FTV. Oh, I hate that kid.
I force them to watch
My
cartoons.
son likes to watch them.
The problem is, I go like, let's see, you go to Disney Plus and you're like, all right, let's watch a Spider-Man cartoon. There's 50 of them. Like, there's so
Yeah.
many
Yeah,
options.
do you want to watch the one from the 90s or do you want to watch the one from the 60s where they do the pointing?
And it's too many options, and they never get into one, and they're just ADD bouncing around crazy because there's just too much crap to choose from. It's right. It's a Cheesecake Factory menu.
Yeah, but
It's
just pick one.
I do pick one, but they never get it. Then when I go back to it, they're like, "Oh, let's try this one." They want to try the different one. Maybe the one's better. It's like porno.
They're trying to, culture themselves. Different eras of Spider-Man. It's fine.
When me and Daniel and EJ are looking at our free porno websites, we keep thinking that the next video is going to be better than the previous one. Then next thing you know,
Yeah, then sometimes you got to go back to the one you saw and settle for that.
Yeah.
you've been sitting there for too long.
Yeah, you're like, I'm wasting precious time.
Yeah.
I'll
because
just go back to fake agent or I caught the babysitter.
you're chasing that next best one, thinking that it's all the same stuff,
Yeah.
and that's what the kids are doing. They're thinking
Chasing that next high.
too many options, ruining.
Sometimes you should just settle in with a nice new you've seen before because you know it works.
Anyway, what's next, EJ?
The last thing I have is the Green Lantern TV show that they're going to put on HBO Max. It's going to focus on Alan Scott, Guy Gardner, Jessica Baez, Kilowog, and Sinestro.
Can we all agree that the Green Lantern is the lamest of all superheroes, and he will never work in any incarnation of any type of celluloid, TV, nothing digital, no radio, nothing. He just sucks.
I don't know anything about him.
Everyone hates Green Lantern.
It's all
sucks.
willpower, man.
He's got the word lantern in his name.
Yeah.
Nothing cool
Yeah, we
has
don't even
lantern.
use that anymore.
There's nothing
It's
cool.
me. It's Dial-Up Man. Like nobody cares about Dial-Up Man because there's no dial-up anymore.
There's nothing cool with a lantern on it or around it. Lanterns stink. Screw you, lantern.
I'll save you. I'm Candle Boy. Candle Boy, what do? You're melting. Oh God.
At least candles, like there's Dracula or something.
Quick, there's a
Tales of
vampire.
Dracula?
Light yourself, Candle Boy.
No,
I can't. That's the only thing I can't do is light myself.
Anyway,
You're our Candle Boy, EJ.
I thought it was Fat Santa Claus, Mel
No,
Gibson.
Fat Man.
Man.
Fat Man. Have you
yeah.
seen the
Fat Man,
trailer for
sorry.
Fat Man with Mel Gibson and
Yeah, where
the guy that looks
the
like
one
Butler?
Guy, he hires a hitman because he
Walter
got a lump of
Goggins.
coal.
Let's start calling Butler Goggins.
Dodson Goggins.
yeah.
No, just Goggins.
Butler
is
does
fine.
have a little Goggins in him.
He's
so-
very Walter Goggins.
He also loves Walter Goggins.
He
a lot.
loves it.
Yeah.
Whenever there's anything Walter Goggins on, if
Yeah.
Butler's watching it, he has the same smile as Walter Goggins.
Yeah.
It's like in the trailer, he becomes Walter Goggins.
I do like Walter Goggins. I gotta say.
I do too.
You hired him.
I do too.
Yeah, maybe
You
that's
bought your own Goggins.
Yeah. Not as good. Goggins is way better.
Goggins.
So we watched the trailer of Fat Man. It looks cool. We want to see it. But Samantha and me and Daniel did talk about, like, we do kind of wish.
I
it
like
was-
the story. I
it
just
was-
wish it wasn't Mel Gibson.
It was someone else.
Yeah,
than
if it was
Gibson.
anyone but Mel Gibson. Like, if it was like Liam Neeson, it would probably be better.
Yeah. But there's, I'll still watch it. I'm able to disconnect that Mel Gibson is probably a POS and should not be supported. But I'm able to, because there's not that many good movies coming out.
No.
And I don't know
No.
anything that I've seen that I've been like, oh, that's good. And this is
Yeah.
looked at least interesting.
There's
Yeah,
not
most
a
of my
lot
nerd
of-
stories are movies are getting moved back. That's all my nerd stories are like, oh, Green Lantern's getting pushed back. Black Adam got nixed off the schedule. So, yeah. You gotta look for something good, I guess.
Oh, we should. How about Black Goggins? That's got a nice ring to it, right?
That's probably on one of your websites that you're looking at.
Don't search Black Goggins. So-
Big Black Goggins.
So now this new Fat Man movie, it's going to be released straight to, you could just buy it,
But
right?
they're doing both. They're doing
Yeah, aren't
a
they doing, like, the
theatrical
Amazon
release
Prime,
and
you
then
can
like
buy it and then watch it in the theaters.
yeah, they're
Okay.
doing like 2 weeks later. You get to watch it at home.
Okay. So is this the new way that most likely
That's what I
movies are
think,
probably
yeah.
going to be released?
I think so, yeah. Because, like, going to the movies is, like, still a hassle for most people. So
I think
they'll
this.
probably have to move off.
Yeah.
That's a good way to end the segment.
Well, I mean,
With a petter.
people kind of
You gonna
push
cry, bro?
at the begining of the pandemic.
Yeah.
People push back
Sad.
when I said that this will be the death of movie theaters, and people are like, no, they'll be back.
Well,
And,
those are movie people.
Yeah. And then I'm just like, man, I just think that this is just going to remind people that it wasn't that good
How
to begin
foolish
with.
do I look now? Never invested.
Yeah.
I knew it the whole time.
It's just, it's not that the experience isn't great and all, well. It's just not as good as it was, or something. We lost something, commercialized it. It's just, maybe it should be done for like a special occasion or a special movie, not necessarily like go to the movies every week. Like it try, So, death in the movie theaters.
A lot of things are becoming a special treat. Like going out to dinner for our family just because we're cooking and we prefer that.
Yeah.
Like going out to dinner is like a big deal. It didn't used to be. We got really it's kind of gone back to the way it was.
Granted.
Yeah, it's gone back to the way it was when I was a kid. Going out to dinner used to be like a Friday night thing. The rest of the week you ate at home, you cooked.
Yeah.
Take that, Goggins.
All right, EJ. Oh God, we
Thanks
gotta
for
go.
having me on,
No,
guys.
bye. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producer here. Hello, Sam.
Hi.
Butler is in the other room. Fish are still alive.
Yeah.
Tank looks great. Good job. Shout out to Top Shelf Aquatics for fixing what apparently we broke.
Yeah.
Don't know what we did, but
Line got clogged. The reservoir tank wasn't.
I've been
filtering.
putting every day. I put one Trolley sour belt candy in the reservoir because I
don't
like
think
this.
that's good.
Okay, I'll stop doing it. But let's just say those fish won't get any of that sweet blue raz anymore that I've been giving them.
You want to hit the? Do we got a new song or
I think we have an old one.
Mm-hmm.
And
how many have we?
Well, I did one last week, and then I think we got a new one here.
I think we have probably over 100.
Over 100 of them, I think. So here, let's try this one.
Hey, what's up, Tom and Dan?
Oh, that's not it. Okay, never mind.
Uh-oh.
I thought that was Joey was
a
supposed
weird
to
song.
do a new one for us, but he did not. So I'm going back. I'm gonna have to go back to an original then. I apologize.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
And I moved all my buttons, so
I will say
I'm a little confused.
Weird Job Wednesday brought to you by Streamline Mortgage Solution.
Indeed.
You can go to streamlineflorida.com. If you're looking to buy a house, go talk to them. If you want to do a refi, it's just a good business decision. The rates are low right now. I know I refied. Daniel did twice. A lot of people we know are refiing. And here's the thing. If you have a lot of interest and credit card payments and car payments, you want to consolidate, take some equity out of your house, get that cash, and then you only have to make one payment. And it's probably at a better interest rate than all your credit card payments. Like, do what's best for your life business.
Yeah.
And what it's easy because you can do it all over the phone. Just go talk to them, and they'll tell you whether it's a good idea or not.
Yeah, like I had to wait for a while before
the rate wasn't right. I mean, they'll you tell them what you're paying now, what your interest payment was, and like, all right, this is what I want to do. They'll let you know. Brian and his team will let you know if it's the right decision.
Jay Cornell 26 in our Twitch chat room said that they refied last week. And thank you for doing that. We appreciate that. Twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. If you want to be like
it was so easy to
Jay
do.
And they keep you on file, and then they just call you when the time is right.
Their team is so good.
Speaking of the time is right, I think the time is right for this. Tom wanted to do a bit. He called it Weird Job Wednesday. Dan really likes it. Tom says that's bullshit. It's another Weird Job Wednesday. What are you doing? What is your job? Are you neat? Are you tidy? Or are you a fat slob? Do you make lots of money and you sit up in your tower looking down on all the people who are working by the hour? It's a Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Oh yes, it's Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Weird Job Wednesday.
Oh, I like that. I like that you gave it an extra beat.
I did the plug before, so I was like, oh.
No, you should have
I don't know
stood
what I'm
there.
doing
You
now.
should have stood there and then grabbed your Diet Coke and then. Weird Job Wednesday. And do it like very NPR style. I like that.
So, what's our weird
Didn't
job
we just
today?
talk to this guy?
Yeah, I know.
We did.
Yeah, I like this guy.
What's going on, dude?
Hey, how's it going?
This is our friend Rick. What's going on, Rick?
Not too much. Just I'm trying to figure out what job you want to talk about because I threw out a couple of them. So
another thing I'd like to do when we play the Weird Job Wednesday theme song is just pop up our guest.
Yeah.
While it's playing, because I was just watching his face the entire time.
Yeah.
And it's weird to watch people listen to it. They're like, this song sucks.
well, I was going back and forth. I was looking because I mean it's the original, so I'm like, I love the original, but there's all the ones that you guys have come up with since.
Don't pander.
It was kind of nice to be the original.
I saw your true facial expressions. I know how you really feel. Let's think. What job do you want to pick from Rick?
Rick, let's go over them. And
I don't
then
know.
we'll pick one out.
Batboy's pretty good.
So yes, my first job ever was as a bat boy. I was also a clubhouse manager for a minor league baseball team, and I was also a Forex trading instructor. So,
wait, you taught fat people how to trade?
Yeah, kind of.
So
what's a Forex trade instructor?
Yeah.
Foreign exchange. So trading the foreign exchange.
Oh, I thought it was fat people.
All right. So, okay, Batboy.
No, his name is Rick.
I know when we've talked to a person, I believe, when we were talking about like how it was different back in the 80s as far as growing up. And like, remember Batboy, you got locked in the in the clubhouse and you spent the night. It's all a bunch of dongs.
Yeah, it was dongs ahoy.
So was that your experience, Rick? As far as like, how old were you?
Were you in it for the baseball knowledge or the dongs?
Well, I was in it. So I started when I was about 15. So it was like 1996, 95.
Okay.
Good time. A lot of dongs.
A
lot of dongs in 95.
Dongs ahoy.
Yeah.
I mean,
95
but that's not,
is like
definitely not why I was
second or third in total dong scene, I believe.
Like
that's TDS if you're a professional.
Lot of sexism, racism.
Yeah,
it
was a sweet spot.
Yeah. But it was like it was celebrated.
In television shows like Baywatch and Cheers.
But so when you were 15, what is the actual job duties of a bat boy?
So we would have to get there before the game, make sure everything was set up in the clubhouse, and basically in the dugouts. So we'd probably get there 2 hours before the game. A lot of times we'd get there earlier because we'd like to go shag balls out in the outfield while they were taking batting practice.
Yeah, baby.
Just to go out and have a good time.
Tom, why'd you say
hit
that?
Batting practice. So
can't help it. When
and then
says
throughout
shag,
the game,
it's like,
you want make you horny, baby? Yeah.
And then throughout the game, we'd have to be out there. You're either the visiting team or home team's bat boy. You'd have to go grab the bag, or grab the bats. We had to make sure the umpires had the water they needed and that they had the balls they needed. If there were too many foul balls hit, we'd have to resupply them with the balls. We were just there kind of just to help everybody.
So you wouldn't. I thought that every team had a specific bat boy that they travel with. But is it the actual
BYOCB?
Does the field or the stadium has like bat boys that they give out to visitor? You know what I'm saying? Like, or do you?
It's bring your own bat boy.
You have different teams each time.
Generally speaking, it was you were. At least in the minor leagues, the team supplied both bat boys. So the home team would supply the bat boy for both teams. When you get higher up in AAA and the majors, a lot of times they'll bring their own bat boys with them.
Yeah, you don't want the opponent's bat boy in there. He might be getting some of your knowledge. Taking it back to your team.
So we know now, and it's obviously probably been prevalent through the entire. It probably still goes on in some incarnation we just don't know about. But cheating, like any team wants to find the edge, and of course, it was the Astros, right?
Yeah.
Houston.
So Houston was like cheating. Like blatantly cheating with the sound signals and stuff. I wonder why they you would think that teams wouldn't want the opposing team's bat boy in their dugout or listening to them.
I'm surprised we still have that. I mean, how hard is it to bring your own bat, ball, and water to the dugout? You don't have that much equipment. You know,
everybody wants an intern, especially rich guys.
I don't. I do everything myself.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but you're going and getting the bat after they hit, so to clear off the base paths, things like that. So it's more than just doing it before the game, but during the game, you're trying to make sure it's safe. We didn't actually sit in the dugout, though. We would sit outside the dugout in a chair, so we didn't get to hear anything Except for sometimes the batting or the hitting coach would come out and sit next to you, or somebody would from their team would come out and sit next to you just to
sniff your hair and stuff.
Yeah, pretty much.
I know those guys.
So
yuck.
Let's talk about in the actual locker room. Did you?
You
see
got a lot of rhythmic slapping.
Oh yeah, there it was dongs ahoy. I mean, it was. Nobody walked around in clothes. I mean, it was either a towel or underwear or nothing. People just everywhere.
I feel okay, and you're a grown adult, Rick. We're all adults.
Just got home.
So, and also to Samantha too. So let's say we're all athletes in a locker room type scenario.
No, hold on a second.
Okay.
I'm not sure I can, as the second owner of this company, I'm not sure I can go on board with you setting up a locker room scenario with Samantha involved.
Co-ed locker room?
She's going to be in her own locker room.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's a different sport.
You can do that move like me and my wife do when she's in the ladies' room at a campground and I'm in the men's room at a campground. I make copious amounts of fart noises for her to think that, it's funny.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
It's whatever sport.
Fun-loving, fun.
Girls play softball and tennis. I think that's the end of the list.
Casserole tossing.
That sounds great. I would do that.
Anyway, so you're in a locker room, and I understand we're all getting changed. There's nothing, whatever.
Good game, ladies. Good job. You really outcooked them today.
But I feel like if there was like a 15-year-old in the locker room,
boy or girl.
Well, I imagine the same sex in the locker room. So the 15-year-old boy in there, I understand there's a locker room. Who cares? But I don't know. I'm like a grown adult. I'm like, how about I not show this 15-year-old my dong?
Yeah, I'd be weird about it.
I mean, maybe it's me being a snowflake and not an athlete. And
I think you'd think about it.
I don't think it's necessary.
No, I think you'd be like, hey, get out of here. I'm changing. Say that.
Let's have
That's what I do now.
Now I know, but I guess if you carry yourself like a professional, then it's like you're one of the guys. But still, it's a child, and I imagine some of these guys,
have children.
I don't know what
it was always weird to me too, like in middle and high school when you would like go shower after gym class and the coaches would come in. That's weird, right?
Yeah. Well, it'd be
you don't need to come in.
I mean, it's only weird if you don't
matter.
Want them to come in. I always wanted my coaches to come in.
A lot of the female coaches were also attracted to females. So
yeah. So
I'm just like, hey, just
yeah.
Like me, I was like, maybe this time coach will notice me. I'm like really soaping up good. Say something.
I was honestly after like probably my first couple days on the job there, I didn't even think about it twice. It was just people walking around. It was definitely a different. I probably think about it now differently than I did back then.
Yeah.
But I also, I played football and baseball and basketball growing up, so it was a locker room. It wasn't any real different to me from any other locker room.
I know. And I sound like a baby snowflake when I talk about it, but
that's me and Tom's hang-ups.
I think you sound like concerned people. Like I don't think it sounds like a baby. I think you're right. I think most people would do that.
But when you are in a locker room in a sports setting, you don't notice how many naked people there are. It doesn't matter because it's just locker room. Anyway, so
when people are naked, I don't even see nudity. I only see their personalities.
So let's talk about the trader. What is that?
So that was basically I worked for a company that sold software for foreign exchange trading, where you basically you trade on the exchange rate. So the U.S. dollar versus the Japanese yen or the euro or whatever, and you make money based on that transaction. So if the US dollar goes up versus the yen and you have yen, you have the US dollar, you can buy more yen, wait for the yen to go back up, and so on and so forth.
Gotcha. Basically trading currencies back and forth, trying to get any sort of edge. It
sounds a lot like what we talked to our Bitcoin expert about last week.
Sounds super boring. Is that true, Rick?
Yeah, it was pretty boring. I mean, there wasn't really. You would get excited for stupid news that people don't care about, like jobless numbers and, whether the Fed was going to raise rates or whatever. News that is passing in most situations. This one, you would actually get excited, or people would get excited for it. I was training the people who were trading, So, I had to know all the technical background and all the technical trading and why things do what they do, more than actually doing the trading myself.
Gotcha.
So, Rick, if you are a trader, regardless of what you're trading, is it your job to go out there and try to find people like clients who are willing to invest into you so you could trade their money? Like, do you have to do that, or are you just getting funneled clients? Like, how does that work?
So the company that I worked for, they didn't trade any of their clients' money at all. Basically, they sold software. They were a software company that you would use their software to get analysis of what was going to happen, and then you would also part of the software was I hosted at the time was known as an online radio show. Obviously, now it would be a podcast, and so where I would teach people what to look for in certain formations and technical aspects.
Yeah, this sucks.
Oh yeah.
What other job you got,
Let's
Rick?
go back to the dongs.
Let's talk wrestling. What do you want? What do you want?
For that one.
Oh man.
Yeah, let's talk about how Alexa Bliss is dating old what's-his-name, Ryan Cabrera.
Oh yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The
Didn't
cruise guy?
Didn't I talk about that on the
Yeah,
Who's
you
Porch?
did,
Oh,
and he's
yeah.
a really nice guy. He seems
Is
like a
he?
real sweetheart. Yeah, he does. He was really nice to my wife on that cruise.
Okay.
So I didn't get to meet him on the cruise. I
He
saw
was very
I saw him
nice.
walking around a couple times,
and
but I
we
didn't
were
get to meet him.
bothering him. You know, this is before Alexa.
So
we were bothering him. He's a very nice.
She's
man.
a professional wrestler, right?
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
both in town. If we play our cards right, we could possibly get him in here.
Is Ryan Cabrera, does he fit at all, or is he a typical
Oh, he looks great.
acoustic guitar nerd? Like
No, he looks cool. He
Okay.
looks like a cool looking dude.
Okay.
Cool. He's a cool dude.
Because, like, let's say, who's the other one that bangs every hot celebrity?
John
there's-
Mayer.
John Mayer. Like, he's we've
I
talked
think,
about
I
this.
think Cabrera
He's
comes
skinny,
off
but
nicer than.
Okay. What I
They're
was
about the same in the looks department. I think Mayer taller, and I
Yeah.
think Mayer,
Yeah.
is carrying that Thor.
What I was going with is that she is
Big
just a
Thor.
way better, like, fitter athlete than,
Oh, yeah.
than he is. And
Well, he's not an athlete.
yeah,
He's
exactly.
also,
yeah.
imagine he would be older now, right? He's like 40.
Yeah.
And
Sorry,
she's younger
Rick.
than that.
Did you
Oh,
have-
no problem.
Rick,
No,
are you
I
still there?
Alexa
Hello?
Bliss is
Rick,
in,
put on your Alexa Bliss wig.
Alexa Bliss is like 30, I think. So
Yeah.
yeah, and Ryan Cabrera's got to be in his 40s.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy for him. They're a cute couple. It's just a weird, you never expected it. It's just weird.
I mean,
Did
yeah,
you?
it is definitely strange. But I mean, it's hard for it not to be a cute couple
He's
when
38.
Yeah, they're both attractive. They'll have
Yeah, they're very both
beautiful
attractive people,
children,
so.
my lord.
Did you have any other weird jobs, Rick?
that I can talk about because some of them involve my current company. So I'm going to steer clear of those. But when I was actually promoted from Batboy to clubhouse manager with that team, which is basically the team mom. As weird as that sounds, like I had to do the laundry, make sure the clubhouse was clean. I was in charge of the Bat Boys. I used to have to go out and run errands for the guys. That was an interesting one.
Did they? Okay, in the
That's
sports,
really weird.
in the sports world, we've talked about this a couple times, but stereotypically, we categorize baseball players as the biggest D heads individually.
Well, we have as a show,
Yeah,
right? I mean,
yeah.
we've done the science,
Oh yeah.
we've done the experiments,
Yeah.
and
Even from personal, like
Yeah.
growing up,
we
like,
came down that naturally baseball players are just the most or the best at being D heads.
Yeah, because it's a team sport, but it's very individual.
Yes.
So you got like the ego involved.
It's like it's the best of both worlds.
And then the fact that they can really just be a D head and they really don't need the help of their teammates. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you could be
You do and you don't.
You could be a D head to your teammates, and it's not really going to affect your performance. You know, like you can't do
Yeah.
that in other sports.
Like, what did you do? I hit like 4 home runs. I'm
like,
the best.
You know, like if you were a quarterback, you were a D head to your offensive line.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
they could start
you get run over.
Yeah, they let Aaron Donald,
Oh.
kill you.
Go right through you.
Anyway, so do they respect you as the clubhouse manager, or they just bully you crazy? Like,
I can't say they would bully me, but they would definitely pick on both the Bat Boys and me because that's just you are pretty much right. I've met. There were some of the nicest people I've ever met were baseball players, and some of the worst people I've ever met were baseball players that came through.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting to see because some of them got guy by the name of Hee-Seop Choi, who was the first Korean Major League Baseball player, position player. He nicest guy you would ever meet, would go out of his way. Like, he helped one of our bat boys learn how to run properly. He would sit out there for hours with this guy, making sure he got his feet up and
What kind of bat
like
boys
that.
are you hiring if they don't know how to run?
How was he
Well,
running?
I mean, he knows how to run. It was just not as well as he probably should have.
Yeah.
I wasn't on the hiring. I wasn't part of the hiring. I was just part of the training.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I like the dichotomy
He
between
showed
like,
this kid he had feet.
this this Korean baseball player teaching the bat boy how to run properly on his off time or whatever, and then you get this big muscle Dominican D head. Almost said the word.
Oh, yeah.
And then he just D head to everybody.
He's eating one of those chunky candy bars with the raisins in it. He just puts the wrapper on your chair.
Yeah.
He's peeing in your locker.
Couldn't help himself. He bullies everybody, his own teammates.
You just shagged all these balls and they're in a bag
kick it down.
and he just pushes it over.
And even in the clubhouse, you'd see the groups separate. You'd have the Latin players, you'd have the American players, you'd have the African American players, and they would pick the lockers like right next to each other. It wasn't, all these guys play infield, all these guys play outfield. It was they nationalities were definitely how the clubhouse was set up.
I think that's like human instinct, maybe
Yeah,
at the
I think it
beginning
is.
when you don't know anybody. It's like prison or something. You know what I'm saying? Like you just gravitate to.
I look at men's eyes and I'm like, Pornhub. He's a Pornhub guy.
So,
Put my locker near his.
what do you get paid as a bat boy and then clubhouse manager?
So Bat Boy, I started at $20 a game, and then it moved up to $25 a game.
Ooh.
Those
Those are long games, man.
Does not seem worth it. Well,
They-
plus you
they
got to
were
be there
long
2
games, but it
hours.
wasn't
Wait,
before.
how old
overly-
were you?
I was 14.
That is
15.
child labor.
Oh my god.
It's like $2.
yeah.
Well, it's
You
funny
have no
'cause
business
so
being
there's-
there.
the
You're
game
a
is-
baby.
The game is 3.5, 4 hours. Then you got to be there 2 hours. And you're 6 hours there for $25.
At least, yeah. But part of it was the experience, and then part of it, there's actually a Florida law written that excludes bat boys and that kind of job from having to receive minimum wage.
That's messed up.
It is messed up. I think it's changed now, but back in my day, that's how it was.
But I can
and then when
I can imagine it's sought after for a 14-year-old to be a bat boy if he's into baseball.
Well, that's why I became a soccer linesman for my first job, is because it was the sport I loved and I wanted to do it. Yeah, it's exactly what you do.
Although
And you want to hang out around that environment all the time.
Although you could probably make the argument that the really talented kid baseball players, or is they, more, Rick, like, are there professional, like, major leaguers that were bat boys growing up?
Probably not a ton. Most of them were practicing all the time.
No, dog, those are for the fat
baseball
kids.
was-
I was like, yeah, that's where I was going
Yeah,
with it.
yeah.
That's my theory.
Yeah,
but
all
then I
right.
was like, maybe there are, like, maybe they're like a judge. What's his first name? But
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't
Mike
either.
Judge.
Mike Judge.
Judge Reinhold.
the maybe he
Judge
was
Dredd.
a bat boy, but then I was like, nah, he's using the bat to hit balls.
The
far.
bat boys are for the guys that can't use the bat
Yeah,
properly.
yeah. Therefore,
It's like being a page to a knight. It's like
yeah.
the page brings the sword to the knight.
Yeah.
The knight slays the dragon.
yeah, bat boys end up growing up to do wrestling podcasts.
Oh, my God.
Or working behind a computer all day.
Yeah, that's
sorry,
you're
Rick,
not,
I
not
bullied you.
right.
I know.
I would never claim to be a good baseball player. That was not my sport.
Gotcha.
Well, we know you're here.
Yeah, you're not standing on a field, Rick. I see what.
Look behind you, over your right shoulder. Look behind you. There's a white trash can. Inside that trash can is your baseball knowledge.
All
He's done nothing.
As a clubhouse manager, we got paid. Basically, every player had to pay. We got $500 from the team, and then per month, and then every player, every time they got paid, would have to give us or give me. I think it was $23 out of their paycheck.
23.
It was something stupid. Like I remember, because I had to go back and calculate it all. Because if it was 25, it'd be easy. But it was like $23. So most of them rounded up to 25 and could, whatever. But yeah. So every 2 weeks, I was getting, $2,000 or so from being a clubhouse manager, and then $500 on top of
Hold
that.
on.
Yeah,
was
that's
it
not bad.
was it auto taken out of their check like child support, or did they have to? Did you have to get it from every
Where's
single?
my 23?
Yeah. Do you have to get it?
I literally had to go to every single player and
Oh,
get my
that
that's
sucks.
miserable.
Yeah. And for sure, they didn't care and didn't remember to do it every single time, right?
Oh, absolutely. And some of them were the worst. And most of them didn't have big contracts because it was single A baseball. So, most of them, some of the guys had massive contracts, but probably 90% of the team was making, $1,200 every 2 weeks or something like that, for playing professional baseball, because they signed they were either undrafted or drafted way late in the draft. So
Yeah, so it's not like this $23 is just nothing. I mean, actually, they
mattered.
Yeah, it's a portion, a percentage of
but
the
you've
paycheck.
got no middle. You've only got guys that it means a lot to and guys that it means nothing to.
What if they just kept forgetting to pay you? Would you do anything? I mean, I imagine that
I'm going to write a letter.
they can easily push you down. I'm like,
they could. Generally speaking, if it happened for multiple weeks or whatever, I'd have to go to the manager, and he would take care of it.
No.
But you were the manager.
No, the coach, like
Yeah,
the
the
manager,
actual guy. They're not paying me again.
then
And
he
they
gets,
pooped in my locker.
then he gets mad. He's like, God damn it!
I told you guys to ease up on him.
and then every time the tobacco police would come around, because there's no tobacco in baseball, I would have to go through every one of the lockers and grab every can of tobacco, everything of cigarettes
God,
and
you're
whatever,
a
and hide it in
target.
my office.
Oh, you'd hide it for him.
Oh, yeah, that'll
Oh
work.
yeah.
I thought they did that in the 2000s. That was in the 90s.
That was in the 90s.
That's stupid. Let them. If they want to smoke while they're at the plate, I don't care.
Yeah, they're athletes. They're
Yeah,
fine.
they're grown-ass men. Do what you want to do. I think it's bad for you, but do it.
Also, no kid is watching baseball anymore. You're only influencing an old man.
No kid is watching TV anymore. Are you crazy? Baseball on TV? It might as well be an old Civil War drum. Come play this drum.
All right, Rick. Thanks for doing Weird Job Wednesday today. And,
Absolutely.
Be safe out there.
let's plug your podcast real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He probably wanted to
podcast.
do that. That's why he had the shirt on.
I threw it on, but it's a Top Rope Wrestling podcast. You can go to topropewrestling.com or any major podcast outlet.
There you
search
go.
it, find it.
Check it out.
Cool.
It's a good show. I've actually listened to it, so go check it out if you're into the wrestling.
All right, Rick, take it easy.
Have a good
Oh,
one.
I thought he hung up because he was
Right.
he was still there. I got him in mid laugh, so now no matter what we say, it looks like we're being funny.
No, I don't
There you
like that,
go.
yeah. All right, let's bye. Welcome back to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha and Butler are here as well. Anything to plug before we jump into some emails and some voicemails, my friend?
You can go on tomanddan.com right now. We've got new pop sockets, and those are basically, I got one on the back of my phone right now.
Yeah.
These little, everybody
The new
knows what
one
a
looks
pop socket
nice,
is,
Yeah,
right?
everybody
I got-
knows what a pop socket is.
I got the new one that's like a red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
Because you're proud to be an American.
I am damn proud to be an American. I thought it looks really nice on the back of my phone.
It pops out so you could hold it easily with one hand and also prop it up when you're watching your NFL Network or your whatever
Adult
games.
movies.
Yeah. And you could prop your phone up on the
YouTube.
counter. So, and we're selling them for $5. And they had Tom and Dan, our BDM logos on there.
Nice.
And then some other new merch on tomanddan.com, or get the app for free on the App Store.
Oh, Tracy in our Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live says, a pop explaining a pop socket. She got you
I
good.
thought you were my friend, Tracy.
Nice job, Tracy. Pizza party for you. Sam, do you have any emails? Because I have a
Sure
tendency
do.
to neglect your emails. I apologize.
All right.
Oh, my daughter wants pink hair because of Sam now.
Oh, really?
Oh, she's
really?
crazy about the pink hair now. Thanks a lot for that.
You can get the stuff from Spear. We can just spray it in
She
and
don't want
wash it
this.
out.
She wants the stuff that she wants it to be permanent.
Okay.
What's the
Yeah.
what's the idea of the dyeing the hair
Cool.
for kids?
Look.
No, well, I'm saying like no.
What do you mean? What's the idea?
Well,
I think it's a cool dude thing.
well, know why she wants it, but I'm saying what's the parental rules there?
yeah, it's
where,
your
like,
kid. You
Yeah, I don't care.
You make
Well,
your own decisions.
I'm okay
Is that-
with her doing
Although
it.
a lot of public schools,
Yeah.
at least back in my day,
Yeah.
you weren't allowed to have colorful hair until
That-
like high school.
I don't want the
So,
headache.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What
so,
it's
yeah.
like
So
anymore
what are
for
the
kids.
rules? What are other
I don't
parents
know.
look at the kid and are like, oh,
Okay,
for
hold
sure.
on.
Okay.
I will actually ask her teacher via email, and I will report back on
Okay.
the Friday free show. How about that?
Sounds good.
Because Maisie really wants to do it, and I try to be cool dad. I don't excel at being cool dad like Tom does. Tom is a cool dad. I'm somewhere a little more in the middle. I'm more of a moderate cool
Yeah,
dad.
you could always get like the overtone where it's like the wash-in.
Nope, she don't want that.
Okay.
She wants what you have, the bright, super
Well,
fluorescent.
she has really blonde hair, so it will be bright,
Yeah.
but it will wash out
She
easily.
don't want to
Okay.
wash up. Anyway, we'll handle it. Friday free show. I will ask her teacher what the rules are.
I always lean more towards not standing out
I know
for
you
my
do.
kids.
I know
like
you do.
so, if Tommy or Max are like, I want like green mohawk or whatever, and I want
Just be a cog in the machine.
Yeah,
don't
like,
be,
I wanna-
don't be
Yeah.
unique. Don't express
yeah,
yourself.
like, I want to
There's
express,
something
but
to
I'm
be
like,
said
don't
about
express
that.
yourself. Like you're standing out, they're gonna get you.
Blend in, blend in.
Yeah, blend in, fly under the radar.
I
Yeah.
do like to blend in, man. That's how
Yeah.
I kept my job for as long as I did. Just stay quiet and
That's
keep your head
why
down.
flying under the radar is a thing. Like no one is like, I'm flying right through the radar.
Yeah.
like,
I'm with you. I don't want the headache, but I also don't want to not let her do what she wants to do, and I also want to be cool dad that's weighing heavily on me. I'll find out. I'll report back.
Just
How
use
does Andrea feel about it?
I haven't asked Andrea. I would imagine she would go against it because she's a nerd.
just bribe her with a toy. That's what I do.
Yeah,
with
all
my
right.
sons.
Okay, I'm writing all this down.
Bribery works every time with them. Be like, you want to do this, and
But you really want to do this?
Yeah,
toy.
how about you? I'll give you this if you don't want to do this anymore, and they take it every time.
Okay, I love that.
Instead of actual parenting and like being harsh.
Hey, whatever works. No
You're
headaches.
setting them up for corporate life.
Yeah.
It's fine.
First email is from BD and Michelle. It says, hey, I was just wondering if we've considered the number of lives saved with Uber and Lyft, trying to keep it positive in 2020. That's probably true.
Oh yeah.
Think about how many people, instead of driving drunk.
Well, you have to take out a high concentration of the Ubers that we get in based on the fact that we have a high concentration of people that love booze.
Right.
I think you'd have to assume that a solid at least 10% of all Ubers are drunk anyway, right?
It's the drivers.
Yes.
10.
I think it's real
I'll go
high.
less
I think it's real
percentage.
high.
I mean, I think they're more high than drunk, but
Yeah, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying if you're willing to
A lot
drive
high.
drunk,
Yeah.
then you're willing to drive drunk for your job, right?
Yes, but I would assume that they don't want to be because I bet you that the people they pick up are way critical of anything they do, like if their car's not up to the shape or if they're like not wearing their mask.
But that seems to
like
be
they'll
different
complain
now.
to the app about
Like the
it.
Ubers I get now are kind of gross.
Yeah.
They used to be
They
cool.
are.
the last few handful I've gotten
Yeah.
have been gross.
The last one I got was a little suspect, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
Well,
probably
it's,
way off on that number.
get-
But yeah, I would imagine drunk driving. In fact, listener Neo Del Rio said we have mentioned this before on the show, like even on a gentleman's
Well,
guide.
let's
or
look it up.
something,
I mean,
that-
have like drunk driving accidents gone down? I mean, there's
Well, yeah, that's
statistics.
what he was saying. Neo Del Rio in the chat was saying that Kramer did verify that in the last 2 years, DUI cases have gone down.
Okay, yeah. DUI cases, which I imagine is a direct correlation with drunk driving accidents.
Right.
So yeah, 100%. And I imagine that drinking
Okay.
and driving will be so foreign to our kids that because it's so easy to get some, personal transportation and so cheap that they would be like, you drank and then drove a vehicle, you're gonna kill. It'd be blow their minds.
Here's a study from January 13th of 2020, and this is just of the borough in New York City, or the boroughs of New York City, excluding Staten Island, and based on their study, it was a decrease in alcohol-related car accidents from anywhere from 25 to 35%.
Well, that's
That's
a
good.
lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a big decrease.
That has been a lot of lives.
And that's just in that really, but that's a good area to select because
Concentrated,
it's
yeah.
super high concentrated. So.
If you think about it, like imagine in the future when they go back and like I'm saying 200 years from now, they'll go back and look at this time and all different times, and then they'll be like, oh my God.
Things change so quickly in our society that in 10 years from now, we'll be like, oh my God, can you believe we did that?
Yeah, 10 is, but I'm talking.
Think back to 2010.
True.
You know what I mean? So much has changed since 2010.
Well, I
But-
never look at the tech world because that stuff's rapid fire. I hate it.
But I think.
But even societal, thought.
True.
and
true.
how like the whole Me Too movement, like
Yeah.
you know, it was normal to sexually harass women on sets and stuff.
Yeah. I'm talking of like the inherent whole concept of driving a vehicle. I imagine in the future will
Oh,
be
a lot of kids are opting out.
That's a thing.
It'd be
Yeah.
so foreign. They're like, wow, there was a time that this civilization.
Everybody drove.
Yeah, let people drive. Like, how many people were driving drunk all over, killing each other? They're like, oh, lots of them. It was like,
Yeah.
like I'm sure there was a time where like auto accident, like DUI was like probably one of the top killers
Yeah.
of people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
there's probably a sweet spot in
Oh,
like
I think we've lived in that.
70s, 80s. It was just like everybody that was driving was drunk. You know, like
Have we?
there, even in our lifetime, they think about our parents, right? They had a completely different view of drinking and driving than we did. Like it was I mean, no offense to my dad, but it was in the 80s. Especially how he grew up, the Everglades and all that. Like every trip we had, he literally had a beer
had
in
a
the cup
roadie.
holder,
Yeah.
and would drink. Like going up to
I mean,
Disney World, he
When I was like really young, like
was,
I didn't even know
blacked out
that was not allowed.
Well,
Because
think
that's
of-
how often it happened.
Right, but
Yeah.
think of the precedent that's set, because I think all three of us were raised in Florida households.
Yeah.
My mom and dad, and again, I'll go with you. I'm not saying anything that is not true, and I'm also not saying anything that I thought at the time would be bad, but the way that we do look at things, it has, evolved.
Mm-hmm.
I remember you would go to like somebody else's house, I'd get dropped off. My parents would be at some couple's house having a couple of drinks before they even drove to go to dinner.
Right.
They'd have two
Yeah.
or three drinks, then out to dinner, have a couple of drinks, and come home. Now, they weren't blitzed, but it wasn't like they weren't drinking and driving.
Right.
They didn't consider that drinking and driving. To
No,
them, drinking
no.
and driving was like you were blacked out, couldn't walk, and you got behind it. And they would be like,
Mm-hmm.
"That's absurd. Don't do." But like if I had 8 beers, but that was over a 3-hour period, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
drive with the kids and no seatbelt.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
yeah. There's and
Or they're in
so-
the bed of the truck, you're coming home from the river.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody did that.
And so that whole thing, I imagine, from
We're a lot safer now just by
50 years.
design.
Right.
Well, I can't imagine this society in 50 or 100 years will allow everybody to drive anymore. Like it would all be automated vehicles. You probably have to submit a special permit to be able to drive your own car. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's way down the
50
line.
years.
I mean, like,
100
if you
years,
think
you know,
about it,
but-
though, it's kind of cool to think that I
it'd be
would live-
considered negligent. Like, why would you put people's lives
Yeah,
at
but
risk?
people will fight tooth and nail, taking away the rights.
I just
Old
hope
people die.
I just hope it happens really quickly, because like I just
We'll
think
be
there's
dead.
something really cool to think. You walk out, I've got my iPad or whatever, and I walk and I go to my door and open it, and I get in, and the car starts up, and it knows exactly where I'm going because it knows my schedule and routine, and I'm just on my iPad, like typing away, and the thing goes through a drive-through, and I get myself a coffee, and it's doing its thing, right?
Yeah,
it knows
yeah.
where I'm going, and
Yeah.
it's because I've programmed it to do what I want it to do, and it's just going with traffic. And
Society will get used to it.
I'm okay with that.
Look at our like you
I'm
even
okay
said,
with that.
kids are not even getting their driver's
Yeah.
license, so driving will become less and less important, and it will soon become like, why am I going to drive? Why do I?
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
gonna sit-
completely okay with getting more done,
Only-
because that might mean I get to spend more time with Maisie when I get home.
Us old people will be like, we gotta drive. You're gonna drive. Don't stop me. And then they'll be like, shut up, old man. Like, why am I gonna drive? I'll just let this robot drive. I'll be in the back and get more done, whatever it is, and it'll be phased out. right?
Speaking of old memories, you and EJ with your dumb show.
Hey, Tom and Dan and Sam. On the most recent episode where you had Ennis on, you guys started talking about that weird TV show from the 80s. I am 36. I also remember that show. But occasionally in my adult life, I'd think of it or it'd flash in my brain, and I just thought it was like a fever dream of the mannequin and the mouse and the Muppet and the afro. Now, here's another one for you I thought was a fever dream until a friend mentioned it to me. You remember the show where there was a little girl who was an alien and her dad talked to her through a prism pyramid cube? And I want to say the dad's voice was, hey, Burt Reynolds. So what the hell is going on with 80s kids shows?
What was that? I don't know.
Okay, I sort of remember that one too. So the show he was talking about was the Today Special that you and EJ
Yeah,
remembered. The one that I revisited with my wife, and we watched the opening episode. It was a 2-hour NBC special presentation, was Greatest American Hero, because they have it on Peacock Network. and for streaming, and we watched it, and there are things in that show way bad stuff you can't do now.
Okay, yeah.
I'm way bad. I mean, like, horrible.
Yeah, as far as the jokes and the...
Just like some of the things that even happen in the show. It's just...
Is the show he's referring to with the girl called Out of This World?
Yeah, I think that's it.
I never watched it, but I
Or was
do...
it Small Wonder? Somebody in the chat room saying Small Wonder. Oh, that's the robot girl. Yeah, that was Small Wonder.
That doesn't even ring a bell, that there was some girl talking to her dead dad through a prism.
Out of This World revolved around Evie Ethel Garland, who on her 13th birthday discovers she has superpowers and that her father is an alien named Troy who lived on the planet Antarius.
Troy? Who lived on the planet
Anus. And this, what was it? Bring it up and let me...
Yeah, it's a TV show.
Right,
and what was it called?
Out of This World. I don't remember it, but somebody recently brought it up. That's the only reason why it sounds familiar to me.
Let's try some Out of This World here.
Okay.
All right, here's...
let me see if I remember.
Here's the theme.
Okay.
This might ring a bell here.
It was on NBC.
1987.
87 and 91.
5.
Yeah, I was probably too young for this. I know this song, but that's because it's from an old cartoon from the 40s that I had a VHS of.
Weird. There's less shows, but this one doesn't. I don't even remember at all.
I think it was right before your time too.
Yeah, this is weird. I've never seen this before. I like how...
God, TV sucks back in the day. Oh, my God, that's bad.
It's not even showing me what it's
Yeah,
about.
It's so hard for me to just... I'm trying to discover what you're talking about.
It's just lasers and then clips of people having dinner. Yeah. What is it? Like, you're not telling me anything.
Yeah.
Like...
All right, I'm going back to it.
At least step by step, I think, okay, it's a family about
I
coming
guess
together.
Burt Reynolds did the voice of the dad. I like the original Swinging on a Star song.
Wait, she does the tip touch to get her powers.
What?
I saw that, yeah.
She does the tip touch to get her powers.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Hold
Somebody's
on.
clowning us, I think. Hold on, I'm going back to it. Watch the tip touch.
Yeah, she runs in.
This is where we got it from.
Oh, she can stop time.
Yeah, she can stop time.
Wow, what are the chances that we fell in that? She literally does a tip touch to activate her powers?
Her powers include the ability to stop and restart time, materialize things into existence from nowhere, and to transport herself instantaneously from one place to another. Those are good powers.
That's exactly what the tip touch does when you're a BDM.
Stops time.
Yeah.
Well, you get the thumbs. You're doing it wrong.
Oh.
Thumbs down.
Oh, it's thumbs down?
Yeah.
Oh!
The
Did it. Freeze time.
I've never seen that show in my life, and I have no recollection of it. Weird, because there wasn't that much on back then, so you'd think I would have run into it at one point.
Yo!
Welcome back to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. Tom.
Aaron Sorkin.
Samantha's here.
Hey.
Let's do some...
let's do some porking with Sorkin. Sorry. You never know who Samantha's gonna select from celebrity news. Tom likes to gamble, but when he comes in on Monday, he'll always lose. Dan doesn't do anything because this virus has ruined all of his weekends. But let's face it, he wouldn't be doing anything anyway because he doesn't have any friends. That's a good one. Sad.
Who's Porkin'? Brought to you by Porky's Barbecue, right there in the heart of Apopka. Swing by and go to the side. Porky's Barbecue.
Why she sounds so defeated?
What?
And he also had like a child. You're like,
Porky's Barbecue.
why did you say it like a child?
Say it like a man.
Yeah, say it like a man. Say it with authority. Porky's Barbecue. It might be good.
What? I didn't say that.
That's what it sounded like to me. Say it with some
You
confidence.
did seem unsure.
So like
No.
Porky's barbecue.
They know.
It's meat for your mouth. Yeah, smoked meat. And it's a treat for you to eat.
Literally, not one person listening to this is the first time they've heard Porky's barbecue. Right?
Yeah.
Like everybody who's listening to this
My buddy Rick.
has heard us say Porky's and have heard of Porky's.
My buddy Rick, I told him to tune in tonight just for the Porky's ad.
It's just,
Who's Porky?
what do we got?
All right, so this week it's not celebrity news,
I blew it.
but people were porking. I had a listener send me this story, so shout out to Michelle. It is a New York Post article about a Louisiana priest who was arrested for allegedly filming himself having sex with 2 dominatrices on the altar at his Catholic church.
Wow.
Bold move. So
It is.
apparently a passerby was driving past this Catholic church, saw the lights on past the time that it normally is, decided to stop in.
BS.
Take a, exactly. Who does this? They
Nobody
stopped
does
to
that.
take a peek inside just to see what's
No.
going on. And as they opened the door,
I drove past that crazy house that Bart Merrick put on his social
the
media that
flickering
has
lights.
the crazy lights, and I see all the crazy lights. I'm like, I don't care.
right? I'm not
I
stopping.
drive right home.
I'm guessing it has to be somebody that at least attends the church, because why would you care to stop and check in?
I
right?
would imagine it'd be somebody that knows that the lights shouldn't have been
Right.
on.
Or
It is a small town in Louisiana, so it's possible.
Who turns the lights on while you're getting whipped by dominatrix?
Well, you're filming it.
also, there's probably a chance that dominatrix themselves may have told their friends.
That's
or
what I
like,
think.
Hey, I'm going to this church. Maybe it's
Well,
their first
Yeah.
time. It's not-
You're not far off. So
Hey,
the
film this guy. We could blackmail him.
And get
the
all that
witness
sweet,
said
sweet
that when
Jesus
they
money.
peeked inside the Saints Peter and Paul Roman Catholic Church, that they saw a half-naked priest having sex with 2 women who were dressed in corsets and high-heeled boots. The altar was also adorned with stage lighting, several sex toys, and a cell phone mounted on a tripod that was recording the act.
Oh, the old cell
The
phone.
old cell phone on a tripod.
Yeah.
The witness took video footage and then called authorities. So they took the time to whip out their cell phone. I guess you have to prove that it was happening, right? Because by the time the cops come, they might have wrapped up their filming.
Yeah, I would
Is
imagine.
I don't know.
He'd be quick.
This seems very sketchy to me. The fact that someone stopped, went to look inside, then
just
filmed it, then
doesn't
called the police.
seem real to me.
Is what he's doing illegal?
Yes.
Okay.
So the priest, along with the 2 dominatrices, were booked for obscenity charges. The women reportedly told the cops that they were at the church to film role play with the priest, and cops determined that when they went in, everything was consensual, but still arrested all of them on obscenity charges because they were in the view of the public. Because the church was not locked. It was just, they were just going to town.
Yeah, because
in
the
an open church.
is always open. Is that no?
Yeah.
That's not true, though.
Well,
Maybe Catholic churches.
Because
Like in Home Alone, you see them like show up in the middle of the night. I'm like, churches that
Well,
I
big-
grew up in, they lock the doors.
Even my church, during the day, there's typically somebody there at all times, and then they do outreach, which means they would do something in the community. If you were homeless, you could show up and quite possibly find somebody to help you. But Sam's right; they still have hours.
Right.
They have a buzzer that you can get in, but I think the day and age of the old Catholic Church just having its doors
Right.
open,
Yeah.
let the
Maybe giant
let the
cities.
needy come unto me for shelter. I don't think it happens like that
If
anymore.
you're in like downtown New York or something, I mean not now obviously, but that makes sense. Like you're a giant city, it's always open 24 hours. There's someone tending
Yeah.
it, but there's like so many people. Okay, this is what is bizarre.
It's like
right?
a 7-Eleven. It's open, but the guy might be outside smoking.
So this is.
You got to talk to him through the
Yeah,
window.
have the door propped open.
It seems obvious that this is not the first time. Like this is this guy's kink, and this is what he wants to do. Like it's not like he was experimenting his first time with
Yeah, the
dominatrix.
whole setup.
No.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So he obviously graduated to the point where he wanted to pull this was his final mission to do it.
It does sound like the
Yeah.
boss level of a video game is to do it on the altar with the dominatrix in the church.
Yeah, because
Right.
obviously he's got so much to lose, with his job, and
Maybe
obviously
he wanted.
this is
okay,
illegal.
hold on a second.
He knew. I mean, he must have known this is illegal.
What if this plan went perfectly? What if the, the execution of this.
Like you wanted
if
to
this-
get caught.
Yeah,
for,
that's what I'm
for-
thinking.
For what reason?
Well, maybe he's I don't know. What if he gets off on that? What if he gets off on the infamy?
Yeah, but now he's got charges and he's been suspended from the church.
yeah.
One of the actresses
All right.
from this film
You're a kind woman for saying that.
did post on her social media the day before that she was traveling to the New Orleans area to meet up with another dominatrix to, quote, defile a house of God. So, I mean, if she had a follower that just happened to be in that area, maybe they were the ones
But
that...
ruiners. People love
Yeah.
ruining stuff.
And the Archbishop of the New Orleans church did go and perform a ritual that was going to restore the sanctity of the altar.
Oh, okay.
Because it's been defiled.
So they wasted 30 minutes and some smoke.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great.
we should put some smoke on it. All right.
blow some
Okay.
Porky's
Hashtag
barbecue.
put some smoke on it.
It all comes back to Porky's.
Did you whip the smoke ball around? Okay, you got it.
Yeah.
You got him good.
Which way was the smoke ball facing? Because it matters. Oh, wait a minute. It doesn't.
But it just. It's crazy to me that someone would have the balls to try to pull this
That's why
off.
I think there's more to it.
Yeah, because like at any time you could get caught.
This is like a new thing we're starting to see where we find these guys. You and I do a ton of these news stories where it's a guy and then we ask ourselves, how many times have you said it doesn't make any sense because he should have known he was going to get caught?
Yeah,
we say that 100
But
times a
people
year.
are dumb.
I think
That's the
sometimes
thing.
we're looking past something we can't understand, which is that wanting to be caught. There's something
Oh,
to
yeah.
that
Like the voyeur.
that gives
yeah.
it like that extra adrenaline pump. It's almost like
exhibitionism.
I
a
am
little
doing
bit.
this in the church. Lights
it's
are
naughty.
on. Doors are
Right.
open.
Yeah.
This is my ultimate, most dangerous mission.
Well,
Yeah.
Also,
Never underestimate horny.
I assume this is the first time he's done this. He could have done this a lot of different times and never been caught,
I
right?
think he has, yeah.
So this could be an
It
ongoing
could be a
thing.
comfortability factor there too.
And
yeah.
then so he forgot to lock the door. He didn't.
Oof.
He turned the lights on this time. He didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like he slipped up.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that this is his first time and he got caught, but he could have been doing this for years. I mean,
Normally
you could
it's
walk
not
into
their
his
first
house.
time,
There's
right,
a
yeah.
wall of VHS from the 70s. Well, you could
But it's
always.
also like, just do it at your own house. Why are you doing it at the church, man?
Because it's not as exciting,
Yeah,
Sam.
I know.
That's the part you're not going to be
Yeah.
able to wrap your head around.
That's an illness there.
Yes.
He's addicted to this
Yes.
this behavior.
And he probably has to up the, like, let's say this is
You're
his
right,
final mission. I mean, what's next after that?
yeah. It's
If he's that way. Now, it could be case by case, who knows, but.
And so we hear about this often.
Oh, Tracy's saying he lives at the church, so that would make sense.
He does live at the church?
That's what she's saying.
But it statistically,
Do all priests live at their churches?
No.
a lot of them have.
I don't know much about the Catholic Church, I'll be honest.
Houses within. Like I know some nuns do. Like they
But
live
they live
on
in like
premises.
dorms or something, right?
Yeah.
And the priest maybe has a built-in. It's kind of like the White House. It's like you live there while you're.
You have a
the
wing of the
president
church.
Yeah. It's like a little house. I imagine. Some churches have that built in, or
Kind of like a parish.
on premises.
Parsonage.
Like there is a no, I won't call it a church, synagogue that's near my house that I see. Like a lot of Hasidic Jewish people live in my neighborhood because they walk on the Sabbath to the synagogue.
Yeah.
And now because of the times we live in, there has to be like a off-duty cop that's there, just sits in there. I imagine because they hired him because it's so crazy. Anyway,
And for traffic and parking.
Yeah. But there is a house built next to the church that's on the same property. And I imagine that who's the head of the Jewish
Jesus.
Yep.
Well, I'm saying like what would you call a Jewish priest?
Borat.
I don't know the religion. Anyway, but that.
Oh, you mean
make it
a
simple.
rabbi?
Rabbi,
Yeah, rabbi.
I knew that too.
Yeah,
I'm
sorry,
like,
I didn't know.
I'm like
yeah.
Googling it. I'm like, wait, I
know
know
rabbi.
this.
I know what a
Brain's
Jewish
not
That
working.
must be
priest
the
is.
rabbi lives there or whatever.
Rabbi definitely got a cooler name, right? He got the coolest name. Rabbi sounds cool.
It does sound cool. It's part of the deal too. It's kind of like
It's part of your
benefit.
It's like your insurance plan.
Or like the company car, you get the house to stay in for free while you
My
do the
family
job or
church, they
whatever.
have a parish. They're like I think that's what it's called, a parish. That the minister, and then when he comes, when the Methodist of Central Florida, when they say, okay, your assignment as a young minister is to go to this church, he gets that and the house to stay at.
Going back to the fetish thing, right? The ultimate curse, because this guy could easily, like, I'm not sure easily. Maybe it's like a secret that you spent your whole life doing. Anyway, but what I'm saying is, like, if this guy and really was just into dominatrix behavior and the S&M, and so, like, he could just step down from the church and live his life the way he wants to and do as much
with no judgment. Yeah.
But it's not just that.
No.
It's the fact that he's a priest,
Right.
and that's where he gets off. So sometimes you could be cursed by your fetish because it could be worst for your life, because the fetish involves something that could damage your life, and that's where the fetish goes into. It's not just about the dominatrix.
Right.
It's about the fact that it's ultimately the opposite of what
Right,
he
like
stands
it's almost,
for.
so you're, in a weird way, you're saying, well, not in a weird way. In a way, it could fuel the fetish because he's been denied this type of...
Well, it's almost like your fetish is being into underage people. It's like your fetish is directly contradictory to the law and to your own livelihood, right? You know, it's like, so like this
unless you step down and decided not to be a minister.
Well, this is not illegal, obviously. Having sex in the church
that's what I
is,
mean.
but
That's
yes,
what I'm saying.
yeah.
Like, quit your job and then you're good.
But that's not part of the fetish. The part of the fetish is that he does this and he's a priest, which is
possibly, but we don't know.
One of the ladies actually started a GoFundMe for her lawyer and medical bills.
Medical bills.
Well, what's obscenity charged now? Like,
that's what she's fighting. She's
medical
saying,
bills.
Yeah,
what's wrong?
She's got hold on, I got to go back and find.
Well, did the priest do this to her? Because that's terrible.
She says it has caused the chronic pre-existing health condition POTS syndrome to flare up again. It's a chronic illness.
I've seen those commercials.
But she's saying, you know, we did this on private property behind closed doors. There's nothing illegal about this. So she's fighting it.
Well, the law says there is. Obviously, if they're saying it's public property and this indecency, you know, there's nothing against filming a fetish video.
I think the lawyers were gonna probably try to argue it when nobody was coming and going.
Yeah. But if it's open to the public at the time, then you know.
Oh man, they burned the altar.
Then it doesn't matter.
No, really.
The church burned it. They said they burned it straight to the ground. They said they're gonna make a new one.
Oh, don't burn it. Just wipe it down with a Clorox wipe. It's fine.
Didn't like obscenity.
It's been soiled.
There's a broad definition of obscenity, and it used to be like, you know, we make the joke like Two Life
everybody's
Crew
spelling out the POTS syndrome, and they're like, you guys have pot syndrome. Like, I'm like, we do.
The obscenity, like hip hop groups and stuff.
Postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome.
Yeah, it's like a circulatory thing.
So there's been lots of obscenity charges in the past that have been like, oh, you yelled this on stage, or you did this, you know, and they've been arrested. Remember, it happened in the 90s a lot. You go like Two Life Crew would go and perform in Alabama, and then the chief of police would arrest them after the show, and then it would be a big thing, and they'd be like, this is obscenity and whatever, because I think the definition is broad.
Yeah.
So the cops can, you know, and then it usually gets thrown out. But I mean, there was a time where, and I think some states still have it, where if you film some sort of porno that has like, you know, number two involved, and something, they would be considered illegal, obscene.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I might still have a few of those.
Do you think they seized the film, or do you think they're posting it somewhere out there? You think we can find it?
Well, once the cops are usually they're pretty.
It'll eventually come out.
Yeah, but can you take that? Can you?
What, the cops?
Yeah, it's evidence.
Yeah.
Because they
filmed
documented the crime.
Yeah.
That's absolutely.
They may search his house for other.
You just open up some sort of funnel, right? Yeah. If you're doing something bad, they're certainly going to try to find it.
Because he's also a priest, so they may search his hard drive for other things. You know, I'm sure the
type in kids.
The county and everything.
Command F, do a search.
This falls into what people love to fear, which is like a religious icon turned evil.
Oh, get him.
And now he's the devil, and I'm sure there's a bunch of people. What town was this?
I was in Louisiana
yeah,
somewhere.
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
A bunch of people that want to literally
pitchfork him out of
yeah,
town.
yeah. They want to go and burn them at the stake, right? Like the bunch of dodos that.
Now he
this
could
guy
just
is
be
the devil.
horny priest with 2 dominatrix. That's it. It just could
Of
stop
course,
there.
yeah.
But they're not going to want it to.
Oh, to this small Louisiana town, this is the incarnation of this is what's a nice ass. What's the guy that
My God.
sorry, the goddamn movie. Al Pacino's the devil.
Yeah.
I gotta think. No one can think of anything.
Yeah, our brains are shut down.
Was that Constantine? What was that one?
Constantine
No.
or son of a woman or
No.
or
But it's
Devil's
the,
Advocate.
Devil's Advocate.
It's that
Hoa!
everybody wants to believe that there is some sort of general like
But
evil.
son of a woman is nice ass, so I got it right.
What is that? Well, I no. He said that in.
Did he bring it back for Devil's Advocate?
Or maybe I am mixing two things together. I think Devil's Advocate had. Maybe he said great ass. Anyway, it's in there. Talking about, all right. This guy, he'll never do this job again, right? Or they'll let him.
He's suspended from the church. I don't know
He'll be
how long
fine.
the,
he'll go back
suspension
in.
is.
He'll do his suspension. He'll do his time. And
Don't they let pedophiles keep on going? You know,
he'll be fine.
They let people that they're like, oh, this guy's, let's move him over here.
They'll just put him in
he's-
some small town. Yeah.
He's from Pearl River, Louisiana.
Yeah, they'll just move him around to some place that doesn't remember what he did, and he'll be fine.
Yeah, but then in the internet day, like everybody
They
remembers.
still do it though.
They it's hard to get away.
But old people go to church.
Yeah,
and they don't like the internet, so it's a perfect place to be.
Yeah, but if any young person,
Guess what this guy's name was?
Oh, is it funny?
he would have
His
to
name is
change
Travis
his name.
Barker.
Travis. Travis Clark.
There's no way he'd have to change his identity because
I don't think so, man.
You think?
You jump around another town,
I
you're
don't
fine.
think so. There's plenty of people that work in this town that have bad reputations.
Yep, and they just jump
Yeah,
to
but-
another state, another town.
You know how many old people, though, just look out their window? And by saying old people, we're not talking like 80, 90. I'm talking about like 60. They know how to use the internet. Not the 60s that old.
They're not
but
looking up any background checks.
Are you sure? They're pretty nosy.
Nah.
They're not going to search the new pastor's name or someone's
I
not
don't
going to.
think so.
I mean,
no?
they might, but you know,
Everybody, like,
you're also
people know what your neighbor bought the house for on Zillow. Like everybody's nosy as
But
hell.
he's just gonna say he took a hard look at what he did and he feels better, and now he's seen both sides, the harder side, and he's been forgiven, and now he's fine. And people, in a world where you're supposed to forgive, almost by design. If you don't forgive him, you're not a good Christian.
Yeah, but they this
So
all,
they'll just
they
not
pick and
talk about it,
choose.
and he's fine.
I don't know. I bet you this guy never has a job again. People are too because it would be spread around
Well, how
too
does
much.
he survive then?
Ooh, he was also a pastor and chaplain to a local high school.
I don't know. You get a new job.
Yeah,
you
he got
don't-
removed
you
from
know,
that position.
You work at Chick-fil-A. Like,
We'll see.
guess what? They're, you people get screwed, and then you have to figure out it's his fault. He did it. So I don't feel sorry for him. If he's
No.
never a pastor again, like, why is he even a pastor to begin with? He obviously this doesn't fit his
I'll
lifestyle.
see it when I believe it if he gets the other job, because based on what you're saying, then priests that have done bad things and the church finds out about it, then they would be excommunicated, and they're not.
I think nowadays I can't imagine that any priest has any allegations or like solid allegations, and people still follow them. God, I say that now, but then man, there's
Yeah,
so many
but I
people
mean,
that
the
just don't
whole
believe
thing with religion, right, is you ask for forgiveness.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I
So-
think he'll be fine.
I think so too.
They'll just put him in some small town, and nobody will really care about it. Or if they did know about it, he'll say he's a changed man, and he's fine.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, people do it. I mean, Shannon Burke has a bigger radio job than he ever had.
Although, it's. I mean, it's holding up people to a standard. How high do you hold radio show hosts up to?
I understand that,
Some people do.
Their standard to me low.
No, I get it, but there are
Yeah.
probably less pedophiles in radio than there are in the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
That's just a numbers game.
No, but I'm just saying, based on what he's saying with the standard, you would assume that a entity that is a religion would have a higher standard than a broadcasting institution.
I just
and they
imagine that nowadays, since people the information is so easy to get that everything, people just look it up and like, oh, look at this person's background. This is what this person did. Spread it around. It's like they,
you'd like to think
cancel
that.
culture.
Yeah.
Everybody,
No, I know.
out there to, anyway. All right.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a weird one too.
Thanks, Michelle.
Yeah, that's a burn the altar. My God, I didn't think they need to do that too far.
Yeah, a little far. Just sanitize
just
it, right?
You put it in a garage, you paint it, and you bring it back out, and you're like, we built a new one. Like nobody will know. It's like what they do when they get my order wrong at a restaurant. Just scrape the mayonnaise off of it and put the bun back on.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have used that analogy.
Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Bye-bye.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
Tom.
Samantha and Butler are here. During the break, Tom and I were talking about which one of us would be more likely to stay quiet in a park restroom if we were manipulating ourselves. I think you would win, buddy.
I mean, what noise are you making?
You're right. You wouldn't be making any noise.
Yeah, there's noise.
Nah.
When you do it by
The
yourself.
friction sound. Also, there's usually panting involved.
No,
Oh my
not
God,
panting.
stop with your panting.
No, hold on. No, I mean, unless
I've
you're
heard it.
real out of shape.
Yeah, my God.
Who's panting?
Yeah,
You're not
you shouldn't
doing that
be
much work.
panting. Yeah, it shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah.
It should be an easier process than that.
Yeah.
Like if you go to turn on a light switch and you come back and you're winded, I think there's something wrong with you,
Yeah.
and you need to go to the doctor. Let's try this voicemail. Remember when we were talking about leftover metal in your body?
Tom and Dan, Butler, and Sam. Jim from Lakeland here.
Yeah.
On a recent episode, you guys were talking about people with inoperable bullets in their body, where they'd been shot and the bullet was left in. My stepsister's third husband was nicknamed Bullet because he had a bullet in his chest that the doctors said was best off where it was. So that does happen. But as far as family mythology goes, I've got one here that is in my family and it's in a friend of mine's family, so I don't know if this is everywhere or not. But supposedly we each had somebody in our families who invented a carburetor that would get 200 miles per gallon. But they sold the plans to Ford or Chevy or whoever, and then of course the carburetor never came to be. Is that something that you guys have heard of in any of your families or any of your friends' families? What do you think?
Like the family legend that you invented something that quite possibly you probably didn't really, and that was a tall tale? Is that what Jim is?
I think he's saying two different people, him and someone he knows, had that urban legend in his family about the carburetor that got, the insane gas mileage. I've heard that urban legend before.
I have heard that as well.
But I'm not familiar with this is something like the my family's Cherokee Indian or something like that.
Yeah.
I've never heard of my family invented, or I had this person in my family that invented X.
Well, if there's anybody that's going to have that, it would be Butler. I would imagine Butler has
100%.
somebody in his family that invented like Windex, or somebody in his family who,
He gave a thumbs up.
Yeah, that worked on the original Manhattan Project, or
I remember one
Your
guy.
grandfather made streetlights, right?
in El Salvador.
Yeah. It
Or
turns
San
out
Salvador.
that
That was a lie?
no, he
was really a Cherokee Indian. That was the lie.
I think he had a streetlight company in the United States and then a battery company in San Salvador. But I remember I thought it was
all a
streetlights
lie.
for so long. Anyway.
His name was Daryl Sell. Daryl Sell. Duracell.
That will go away in
Batteries?
in a couple generations.
Well, now we can fact check things.
When you could see your grandfather on Facebook, right? Like as a baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying like my son's
Ooh, who's the first generation to have their
grandkids.
grandparents have a Facebook?
It'll be it's
We're
probably,
past it then, right?
Yeah. I mean, people have grandparents. Yeah, I know now. Like I think my
Like
Meemaw
my
has a
mom,
Facebook.
My mom had a Facebook, but it wasn't like, she didn't really keep up with it.
I think
You need somebody who I'm talking people that are active on it, not people that once a week check it.
All right. Well, dude, there's grandmas that are 50 years old now. I mean,
it's mostly grandmas now on Facebook.
Yeah. You're right. It's moms and grandmas. Facebook is for grandmas, right?
Yep.
So they can keep track of their grandkids. I'm saying that will, as soon as the grandparents whole lives are on Facebook, which is
okay, yeah,
a base. Well, not our generation. It'll be
a little younger.
It'll be a little younger than me. But let's say my kids, like when my kids have grandkids.
Like if I would have,
no
so
Urban
like
Legends
Grifton
anymore.
Jess, her son's about to turn 14. Has pictures of like since he was born, all the way till now.
Yeah.
So that's 14 years.
That's nuts.
That's his whole life is on social media.
So when he has kids, like you'll be able to
you'll be able to
see
trace back to
your
when he was
parents,
a baby.
all the whole lives, and then they're for all these these family
the
urban
legend,
legends.
the tall tale's gone.
Yeah, because before it was impossible to find out. Like my grandfather, the only thing I know about my great grandfather is what my grandfather told me. And who knows how much of that is just tall tales and stories.
I don't believe anything anybody tells me about my family.
It's literally impossible for me to ever find out.
Yeah.
It's just gone. I mean, the guy was from World War One.
I've been struggling a little bit with that, not to be the showdowner, but I told you guys that it's hard now for me to vet. There's this weirdness that came over me because, like, any story that I have growing up as an only child, which is unfortunate because I don't have a brother or sister I can check with about the story.
Yeah.
So I don't have any way to figure out. So I'm glad that I actually had really good relationships with my parents and asked a lot of questions because, that does come a time when you can't vet that anymore. Yeah. And it's a weird feeling.
Even if you did have siblings, you ask them, they remember
They're not
different.
gonna know,
My sister tells me, she's like, remember when mom did this? I'm like, I have no recollection of that.
Everyone's memory is different too.
Because everyone's memory is horrible too.
Yeah, that's a proven fact.
Human brains, memories, god awful.
You know what's funny though is mine, and again, I'm not saying this to be pro one way or the other. I use marijuana to, balance out my my anxiety, and it works really, really well, especially for insomnia. But there are times when if I get a correct strand of marijuana that I seemingly can access thoughts that have been. Like, I don't know if it's because I'm relaxed and, like, I get that anxiety barrier out of the way, but I can access, like, really crazy, deep names of relatives, names of friends, places, dates.
Yeah.
Like, weirdness that I can't access in day-to-day life because I think I have too much anxiety just monkeying up the pathways. You know what I mean? Like, the road's clogged with, if I can get myself finally to calm down, I'm actually pretty calm and fun person to be around. Not a miserable, sad, anxiety man.
The bad part is that you get so high you remember old things, but every second you forget because your short-term memory is gone.
Yeah.
You're like, where are my keys? I have nothing.
I walk into the bathroom.
I remember old things.
I walk into the bathroom with a full bladder, and I'm like, why am I in here?
Yeah.
No idea. Pee my pants. Let's try. Actually, let's go back to email.
Okay.
You got one more? Yeah, you got a stack.
Sure.
Yeah, let's do another email.
Okay, this says Reddit NFL streams. Hey, Tom. I, like you, was a huge fan of the Reddit streams. Fortunately, you're wrong about them going away. The guys who ran that subreddit got kicked off Reddit, but they also started their own site. It's NFLBite.com, and it's even better than Reddit streams. It has every college and NFL game you want. On game day, roughly an hour before kickoff, the front page will have all the games listed, as well as both the Hanson and Siciliano Red Zone channels, and you just select the game you want, which takes you to a page with dozens of streams to choose from. You can upvote still so you can see which ones are being used most and therefore more reliable, and at the top of the site they have their links for similar sites for other major professional sports. One of the logos even says, from the moderators of Reddit streams. This is way cheaper and easier than Tom's Sunday ticket and an antenna. I literally just plug an HDMI into my laptop and watch all day, every Sunday, as well as all the FSU games. Dan, Sam, I included you guys in this email so he can't hide, and hopefully he will properly be made fun of. Love the show. Back to the Future obsessed.
I'm not going to make fun of him. It's the only thing he likes. Leave him alone. He's a kid.
I got more emails about this Reddit stream than I've ever have about anything we've talked about.
But I think that's because
crazy.
people actually want to help you.
Yeah. That was a good again.
This kind of was a shock to me and Sam, but people really like your character and like you on the show.
Mm-hmm.
So he gave out the website, and I got a lot of emails like, oh, go here, go here, go here. What I'm saying is that yes, it exists, but for the average pop like me, you can't find them easily.
Easy path.
Yeah. My path is already done, and hopefully other people can. I figured it out. I'll just throw money at it. But what I worry about this is that it seems like they can get shut down at any time. Like the NFL doesn't want their product being shown for free somewhere. They want to keep a hold on that. Like, let's say we know the NFL likes money, and you remember back in the day you couldn't say Super Bowl without getting cease and desist.
I remember those
So
times.
I imagine that they have a team of people scouring the internet trying to shut down these streams.
Well, I know the EPL does because one young man, a younger than 44-year-old Dan Dennis, purchased an EPL pass for a non-registered site so I could watch all of the Arsenal matches in England.
Yeah.
And I forked over, I don't know, $60 or so on a website. And, it got shut down. And I had no recourse for my $65.
Yeah.
And I was out the money. And don't do it.
See, these seems free, and I'm all about stealing from the NFL.
No, I think you can purchase this one. I think you can key your purchase in, too. Some of them
who are you buying it from?
You're buying it from them.
Oh, yeah, and they're just stealing it. Right?
Correct.
So
don't do that is my point.
Well,
don't do that.
It makes me believe that eventually they'll shut it down, right?
You would imagine.
If this is a well enough known thing for one of our listeners to know, and it's not like he sent us the email saying don't share this with anybody.
I mean, the URL is NFLBite.com or something. You know what I mean? Like it's
right.
It's like, why wouldn't they shut it down? You're flying right in their face. You're begging to be shut down.
Maybe they got some sort of loophole. Like sometimes where. You know more about this than me.
Well, they can bounce it off another country somehow.
Yeah,
they can use it like where you're getting it for the way that they're broadcasting isn't in the traditional form of broadcasting. It can skirt the law that way.
Because if you conceal your IP address or make it look like it's coming from Europe,
the bottom line is it's still
NFL
stealing
streams. Yeah, which I don't care about the NFL.
You can VPN in like you're from England and
steal from them all you want. They're fine. They got enough money. And they're a horrible company as far as their morals are concerned. So I do not feel bad for them and stealing their product. That's all good. I just get worried that if I go full bore into one of these things, then I'm going to go to Sunday and be excited to watch football and then go to log on and they shut it down. And then I'm like, no! And then I have to scramble all the way back.
I see what you did there, scramble.
Just to get all my stuff back again so I could watch it. And that's the thing I don't want to do.
Yeah, and why would you do that?
To get it free or to get it for next to nothing because it's just they don't make it easy.
And you basically went with HD antenna and then DirecTV.
NFL package.
NFL package.
Yeah. The season ticket. And then you can watch all games. But there are, obviously other ways around it, but those are the legit way to do everything.
And Sam, you're still Reddit
won't
streams.
Get canceled.
Mm-hmm.
And Butler, I don't even think he's watching football this year. And I'm old. I'm the real old papa.
You just watch on network.
Yeah, I just
I'll
watch.
watch on network if it's good.
I just watch network.
I gotta
and
move
then
my
depends on
antenna
the game.
around.
And then I have Red Zone. Well, I'm watching Red Zone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm certainly not watching the entire Atlanta game.
Well, you
want to be disappointed the whole time? My God.
You have to buy Red Zone.
I got grandfathered in a long time ago, so I got it for like $1.50 or something. It was ridiculously cheap.
On what platform?
I think it's left over from Andrea working for the cable companies back in the day.
Okay, yeah. So
through Spectrum.
You get it through your cable. Okay, yeah. I'm
too worried about I haven't been able to find a stream of live TV that I like better than an HD antenna. Most streams look real pixelated and weird to me, unless it's like something from like a Netflix or a Disney Plus, but that's not live.
Yeah, they got Hulu Live now. There's a million things. I don't know exactly. I'm sure there's someone that has told you, here's the packages you need to get the most bang for your buck.
Yeah, there's somebody out there.
There's ways to break it down.
Because Chris was like, why are we paying $50 for Sling a month? Let's just get, use the digital antenna, and that'll get us like, all the local channels or whatever.
Right.
And then let's do another like Hulu Live or whatever. Anyway, there's a bunch of different things. And I was like, I don't know, whatever. Like,
it's confusing now.
What am I supposed to spend the day trying to figure out? Like, I don't have time for this,
Because there's so many now. You could go, YouTube has some live sporting events, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you like YouTube, Hulu, and then you could get... I'm with you. That's why I just go cable. I'm the ultimate
Spend
papa.
an hour instead of looking at who to bet on that day.
No.
Spend an hour on which package you
That's
need.
not fun. Who
and
to bet
which
on
bundle
is fun.
you
I
want.
don't care about the bundle.
Yeah, but who to
Saving
bet
you
on
money.
the fun part.
Yeah. The problem is it could save me $13 here, $15 here. Yes, like $75 a month I could be saving. And I think we all could, nitpick our spending and save money. It's just too difficult.
I agree.
I'm too lazy, and I'm not at the point. If I'm at the point where I'm like, this is the difference between me buying alcohol and then then I'll move. But if it's not going to change my life in any way, and I'm just wasting money, like I'm just like, it's a collateral damage.
And normally, man, and I think I really have one up to you guys in the pop department. I don't think it's actually anything I've done in my brain. I feel like it's all on autopilot. I have no control over it whatsoever because, and I will do this, it's going to make you both laugh, but I like sporting events. Dare I say it? On the radio.
Yeah.
That's how you know.
You're like my husband.
That's how you know you're old. Oh, he's progressed that far?
He listens to AM radio, AM sports.
Yeah,
talk.
AM sports.
Yeah,
I like
hate it.
sports on the radio, man. Like, I can do other things.
Yeah.
Like I've got the football on. I'm in the garage.
I can't
I'm
pay
tinkering.
attention.
I got a cold beer.
I'll listen.
Oh, I'm an old man.
No, like I did that this weekend where I'll listen to the live, just audio only.
Oh,
of the
Juan
game.
nailed it, and he took my next point. They're better announcers, the radio guys. They have to be.
Yeah,
Just by
because
design, they have to tell the story. So the amount of energy that you get is far superior. That's why the NASCAR guys are so good. You want to listen to some dudes that know how to do radio? Listen to NASCAR radio. It's pure insanity.
Yeah.
They're so good. You don't even have to like NASCAR to be a fan of just how good they broadcast.
Yeah, they've whittled it down to exactly.
It's real pretty.
Yeah.
It's like they only give you the info you need to get, and you could picture the cars in your mind. It's kind of crazy.
But that's old school, like that's been going on for 50 years or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So they've refined it down.
It's probably just a version of horse race guys too. You know what I mean? Like it's probably older than that if you really want to like analyze it. Let's try this one right here. Anybody watching the show Are You the One? Anybody watching that? Okay.
No, but I'm familiar.
BDM Neil here. I'm listening to Who's Porkin' from yesterday. And you guys were talking about the Love Island or the whatever that thing. So they did actually do something like that where you guys said, why don't they represent everybody? So there was an Are You the One I think it was the most recent Are You the One season. And yeah, my wife and I like to get, toasty and watch trashy reality TV like, all of us do to, forget the real world. And literally they had a season of that where it was just all like bisexuals, gay, like I'm pretty sure, I think everybody was like bisexual or something like that, or some sort of manner, or just straight up gay or whatever. And it was like finding your match. And then we were like, holy crap, this is actually even crazier, because if everybody's like bisexual, like how could you actually like play the game? And eventually I think
what do you mean? That'd be easier. You got more options.
I think it's a better show. I want all of my shows like this for everyone to be bisexual. It makes for a better show.
Alex, formerly from BYOCB, was obsessed with this show and talked about it all the time, but I don't watch MTV.
How rad is that everybody's in play?
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's way more options for everyone.
That's cool.
More competition too.
Yeah, bisexuals, they're born just luckier than the rest of us. Because if you have
Try it
both
out, Tom. You
to
might
choose
like it.
from,
He
don't got it.
He didn't got it.
I don't got it. I'm sexually attracted to
I'm
men.
closer to having
I wish
it.
I was.
I'm closer to having it than he's having it, but even I haven't got it.
Yeah. Because then, I mean, just you're right. You're open
Do
to
anything you
all
want.
options. Well, not all.
At that point, you've become like that's got to feel good. You got to feel confident, right? Like if you are. And you're confident in your bisexuality, that's got to be a jolt of confidence to, oh man, that'd feel awesome, I bet.
I said all options, but, I forget, you have to take straight men out of the equation.
Right.
And then also...
I'm applying my idea of what it is, but I'm not that, so... I'm bi-splaining something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So all I have
I'm not bi.
Is other gay men.
Hetero-splaining.
And then hetero women. And then you have to take lesbians out of the play, too. So all gay men. Oh, well, so all straight men and lesbians out of the. I can't have sex with them.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
I don't have anybody off, so they're not.
No, you whittled it down. Now you're ruining my dream.
Yeah, but that's still way more options than you got now.
I have
That's
gay
true.
men, straight women. My only
And
options.
bisexuals.
And bisexual.
That's
yeah.
like a country song. Gay men, straight women, those are my only options.
Okay, we need to talk to a group of bisexuals and find
How many
out,
is a group?
like 3, just so
Okay.
we have a good
I just
sample
wanna,
size.
Trio.
And
That's going to be hard to find.
I don't think so.
they have
I can get you 3 in 3 minutes.
All right, 3 and 3. We'll be back at 3 and 3.
I know that they'll probably say it depends on the person, but they probably prefer one over the other
No.
if they had an ultimate choice, right?
Oh, you mean gun to your head?
Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's something.
Well, you would even say that about your
If
sons.
you
Now, I'm not going to
sexually-
make you do it.
Yeah.
But it's the same idea, right? It's a hard decision.
There's one you
but
do
it's
like
gonna-
a little,
yeah,
even
you
if
do.
you could say.
Now
okay,
this is hetero-splaining. Let me
Yeah.
tell you how bisexuals think. They like one more than the other.
well, I'm
Well,
just
we're
saying
both doing
humans.
a heavy. It's hetero-splaining Wednesday
I
or
was
Tuesday.
unfamiliar.
So I'm just saying,
Apologize.
like with anything, you never like something exactly
It's called
equal.
breed-splaining.
One always wins over the other.
Yes, it's like a relationship when people go, oh my God, we have the best marriage. It's 50-50. And I'm like, no, it's not. There's no such thing as that. No relationship is even. You don't love both of your sons the same way. If you're bi, you don't like,
The
like
same-
one
yeah.
over the other. It's a real thing. Now, I'm not going to make anybody say it, but it's a real thing.
I'll make them say it if they want.
Make
to.
them say, ah.
Because
Na-na-na-na.
when it comes to sex, I bet you that every bisexual person deep down inside prefers one over the other
agree.
when it comes to sex. Now that's subjective to them, but
no-
they can't be like both of them exactly the same. I like it equally. Like, no,
But what if I've
one's
had
gotta
one
be-
a lot? What if I'm the bi guy you're talking about, and I've had one a lot? Let's say I've had a lot of hot dogs the last week.
Yeah.
And I'm the bi guy. I'd
Well, you
like,
could change
and then,
your
but then I
interests,
go and I'm having some tacos, and I'm like, you know what? I forgot how much I like these tacos.
Yeah.
But it's still gun to head. I'm like, I'm a hot dog man all day.
Yeah. Is
that what you mean?
Well, your taste could change after, like,
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
like, and so, like, I know there's probably a lot of, straight people out there. There's like, I like this type of man or woman, and then as you get older or whatever, you're like, oh, my taste change. So I don't know,
Has
but,
your
but
taste
at
changed?
the time, I'm telling you, one person,
As
like,
a
everybody prefers
heterosexual,
one or the other.
as a heterosexual man,
Gun to that. What?
as a heterosexual man,
Yeah.
has your taste
Yeah.
changed?
Yeah. I mean, I like
them long,
thicker
strong,
women
down to get the friction on.
more now
So fellas,
than I did when I was younger. And I feel like that was a taste change that gradually happened.
you like them thicker?
Like them thicker now than I did before.
Now, is that because as time marches on,
I
who
think
you're
so.
with gets thicker?
Yeah, I bet you that has to.
I mean, no disrespect in
No,
saying that.
everything has
Lord
to-
knows mine's gotten thicker.
Everything plays into it, and then also like older women.
was talking
of
about me,
course,
by the way.
Like I tend to look at more MILF and like women that are in their like at least older than they were. That makes sense because I'm not getting older. I like older women that are thicker. It makes sense. Like so that's what I'm saying. Like, and if you put like
Yeah.
if you said well, which one do you like
I
better,
mean,
this is-
eventually, when you go to the search bar, you're typing in things like hospital, oxygen tank.
No, I think it stops at-
Wheelchair.
No, I don't like
Yeah.
grannies. I'm just saying girls
Like
that are women that are more
Parcheesi.
my age.
Bridge club.
Also, the gamut of ages in the porn industry is so weird because it'll be like MILF and the lady's like 23. And you're like, wait a minute.
Well, whoever's making the titles of these things, they're just trying to get as many.
You know what to tell? Here, I'll give you a pro tip because we do have to get out of here. The next time you load up an adult film, if the title on it is from Final Cut iPhone edition, it's just the white font. I believe it's a Helvetica white font, 12 point.
Yeah.
Just X out the browser and go someplace else. It's not going to be good.
Because it's amateur?
It's just bad. It's not going to be good. I know you like that. You like your Final Cut, man.
I like the homegrown series. It's very, I don't know if you looked at that one.
That's a Vero Beach scenario.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
Bye-bye.